Okay, so my name is Spartan Bear, and I'm playing Linfine Regian, also known as Lyn. She's a human cleric of the Arcana domain, and she is a member of the uh, Lord's Alliance.
Dexus is a human fighter, part of the Lord's Alliance.
This is Crescent playing Mender, a Goliath life domain cleric and allied with the Emerald Enclave.
I'm Disco. I'm playing Snap, the Tiefling Levistus Bard. I am pledged to Zentarum faction.
I'm Bray, Titan Shard. I'm Eladrin Paladin. I'm pledged to Lord's Alliance.
I'm Torloth, a half-orc barbarian pledged to the Emerald Enclave.
Dark Mage Arcanus, playing Mordai. He's a Tiefling monk, and we'll see how far he makes it before I get to choose a monastic tradition. And I'll be for the Zentarum.
I mean, we heard you, though. Oh. We can stop the opening. We can do it again.
And there we go. Now we have audio on the stream. Hello, darling. All right. Mulligan? Just fucking redo all of that shit?
What's up, people? It's Daddy Warbucks here with this week's AL session.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is not a good day. Okay. What's up, everyone? Daddy Warbucks here, and today we are once again playing Adventurers League. This is a bi-weekly session where anybody who is interested in playing is welcome to join us, even if you don't have experience in Roll20 or in Dungeons and Dragons. With us today, we've got a full party, 7 adventurers, most of which are joining us for the first time today. I know, you guys get to go through all this again. Just real short, sweet, to the point. Lynn, tell us about your character.
All right, Lynn, human cleric of the Arcana domain. She is a member of the Lord's Alliance.
Okay, Daxis.
Human fighter, she's part of the Lord's Alliance.
Mender.
Goliath Cleric with the Emerald Enclave.
And Disco.
I'm playing Snap, Tiefling Bard, who is pledged to Zentarum.
Bray.
I'm an Eladrin Paladin named Bray Titanshard, and I'm pledged to Lord's Alliance.
Torloff.
Torloff, a half-orc barbarian, pledged to the Emerald Enclave.
Mordai.
Mordai Creed, Tiefling Monk, pledged to Zentarum.
All right, and thank you all for humoring me, by the way. So just to give the description for those of you who are watching, the party has been invited to a party. A lot of the corrupt noble houses within Mulmaster, they like to throw these big extravagant balls to as a display of how very wealthy they are, and the party has been invited to the birthday party of the Lord Zor Falton Gos, and in celebration of his wife's birthday. And the party is all for different reasons. They've decided to attend, either because of the promise of free food and ale, maybe it's because they're looking for a companion for the night, or because the party is being held at the Wave and Wink, which is an extravagant dance hall that is usually only available to those of the very wealthy. So even just being in attendance is very exciting and very big news. So that's where the party is picking up. Okay? And we're just going to move right ahead. Surrounded by the dull-colored buildings that are typical in Mulmaster, the Wave and Wink's blue-painted wave patterns project an atmosphere of revelry. Patrons file through the large blue doors dressed in brightly colored finery, and each time the doors open, there are light tones of music and cheers from within that pierce the dullness of the otherwise dour city. So all of you are kind of standing next to each other, and you're kind of in this long line of people that are waiting to get into the hall, right? While you're waiting your turn, you have an opportunity to talk with one another if you'd like. If not, we can just keep chugging along.
I'm just waiting in line. I don't really know anybody else, so I'll continue as before.
I also choose to remain silent.
I choose to remain silent.
All right, chugging along. You start making your way up to the front of the line, and there's a small group of revelers that makes their way past 2 burly doormen who politely nod. Stepping into the surprising warmth of the building, a few of their number shed heavy fur-trimmed coats and pass them, with a few coins, across a counter to an attendant in an alcove to the left. Further ahead, you see a crowd of patrons gather around an L-shaped bar, at times 3 deep, as several bartenders see to their needs. From around the corner to the right, you hear the rhythmic stamp of feet in time to an upbeat jig, punctuated by excited shouts and laughter. So as you begin to move in through, on your left there is a dwarven attendant, very he's dressed in white and black, very very fine clothing. His hair is pulled back in a very tidy top knot, and he looks at you and he says, "Take your cloak, sir."
I'm gonna keep my cloak.
If you'd wish. Figure it'd be hot and go in there and dance with it.
That's how I like it.
Or any of you, I'll take your cloak, 1 copper piece, leave it here.
I'd like to whisper to the rest of the party, I wouldn't trust this guy.
I do not give him my cloak. I would just like to keep going and ignore him.
I just smile politely and say, no, thank you.
You see one of the other people that are filing through the line with you walks up and hands him his cloak and a coin, and you see the dwarf takes. He's like, "Oh yes, I will hang this up right away." And then you see him just kind of walk to the back of the room and throw it in a pile with like what has to be 50 other coats.
See, like I said, sketch.
All
Walk
right.
on in.
Yes. Moving into the main hall. Where would you like to do? I mean, you got several places you can go. There's the main bar where everybody was crowding around. There's the dance hall where there seems to be a large crowd has gathered. There's a stage at one side of the hall, and it looks like there is something going on. You can't quite see it from this distance, but there's people crowded around. There's people up on the stage. And then there are stairs that lead upwards to a balcony.
Could I try to get a vantage on the stage and see what's happening?
You'd like to move towards the stage?
I would, yeah.
All right. Anybody else want to stick with them or go somewhere else?
Mender's going to head to the bar and reach over the entire crowd and grab an ale.
All right, let's focus on that one first. So you reach over this crowd of people and you just try to grab one of the ales that are on the counter, and the bartender this tiny halfling woman, she's got almost like a switch in her hand. She just whacks your hand, says, "Hey, oi! You need to wait your turn. Get to the back of the line. You'll order like everyone else."
I look around. I don't see anyone else in line. I see the bar in front of me.
There's the bar, and then remember it said that there are people lined up threefold.
I know there is.
And she just kind of, she looks at you, her eyes wide, and she's like, "Do you not see all these people? Like, what is absolutely wrong with you?
I barely see you down there."
Just wait your turn." All right, her and the other 3 bartenders go about zipping around, handing off drinks, and then eventually it comes to your turn, and she comes up and she puts the ale in front of you and says, "Now see, was that so hard?"
Yes, it was. It was much harder than it needed to be, and I'll slide her a silver.
Oh, that's so nice of you, sir. Her demeanor instantly changes. "Well, thank you, kind sir." And she grabs her apron and does a little curtsy. Okay, back to you approaching the stage, right? You see a sign near the stage written in common. It says, "Marum Tem and his merry band," right? And on the stage, you see a half-elf entertainer, and you see that there's the half-elf is in the front and he's singing. There's a couple people behind him with various instruments, and they're playing songs, and people from the crowd are occasionally shouting out songs, and then they'll start playing again, and everyone's dancing and laughing. And they're fairly okay. Like, everybody seems to be in good spirits, and throughout the night they just kind of play and take requests, and that's basically what you're seeing up here. After a couple songs go by, you see the musicians kind of hang up their instruments and say, "We're going to take a short rest. Grab us something to eat. We'll be back in a moment." Right? And then they kind of disappear off stage.
Does that mean there's no one playing music anymore?
That is correct.
Could I hop on the stage and take out my loot?
If you wanted to.
I would like to.
Okay. So as
no one stops me?
No, you just hop up there, and then do a performance check for me just to see.
Yeah, I'd love to. Oh wait, why is that?
Well, it rolls. It always rolls twice, just in case you had advantage. And you take the, but you don't have
I don't have the
advantage.
button. I don't have the button to turn off advantage.
Well, so you rolled a 6.
Not one actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
That's
walk up
just
there,
perfect.
you start playing your song, and it is awful. Like, immediately, people in the crowd start to boo. Woo! Get this man off the stage! Awful! Awful! And they start pelting things at you.
I'd like to try and dodge the things they're throwing at me and keep playing.
It's not long before a couple of very big bouncers show up to politely tell you to get off the stage.
I do what they say.
Okay.
And then I'd like to go to the balcony. You know,
Alright.
make some distance between me and the stage.
All right, so you're just gonna hang out on the balcony for a second. Anybody else want to do anything at the party?
I think I would just be standing idly by watching all of that. I enjoyed the music that was playing earlier, saw the commotion, and I just didn't intervene, just observed.
Okay. Anyone else?
Was there a coin being handed over for drinks? Or was it just...
It's on the house.
Excellent. Yeah, so I'd go to the bar and wait to get myself a drink, and then go just sort of enjoy the ambience, like the music that's playing on stage and whatnot.
All right.
Dexus is looking around for any food, and those waiters that carry around food for free samples.
Yep. Throughout the hall, there are just tables kind of scattered all throughout the chamber, and there is a longer buffet table along one wall. And there's a huge spread just set out. There's plates on one end, and then there's waiters with hors d'oeuvres walking around. So
She's stuffing her face.
Okay.
See, Mordai's going through the crowd and just spot checking people for valuables.
For valuables. Okay. As you walk through the crowd, if that's where your eye is going, you can't help but notice that very many of them are wearing very expensive jewelry. You can see coin purses that are tied around their waist, and they look so very big and heavy with coin. And just everything around you. There's art on the walls. There's extravagant statues. When you're trying to size it up, it's like there's just wealth everywhere.
Good to know.
Okay, so as you guys are standing here, I'm gonna go back to Snap on the balcony. The balcony is just a wooden railing with metal balusters and stylized wave patterns that separates the balcony from the dance floor by roughly 15 feet. There are well-dressed revelers ringing the tall round tables close to the railing, and more guests sit at a collection of tables besides a hearth, smaller than the one near the dance hall. There is a second bar, this one far less overwhelmed than the one downstairs, attended by a gray-haired gentleman. A smiling woman in a red dress assists him from the other side, delicately handing out drinks and making small talk. Guests gather around a man and woman in a carefully tailored, fur-trimmed clothing and admire a painting in an elaborate gilded frame hung near the hearth.
Cool. I walk up to the bar, I guess, and get a drink.
Okay. As you approach the bartender at the top, he kind of looks up at you with reservation. He's like, "Oh, are you with the sir?"
Sure. Yeah. So I was just playing on stage.
He eyes you warily. He's like, "I don't know if I
Show my loot.
necessarily believe you." "Oh no, I saw you on the stage, lad. But I don't know if you're supposed to be with Fountain."
I mean, that's why I was here. Why else would I get on the stage if not to play music? Must have been some confusion because they were not happy with me on stage.
Well, you could be certifiably insane. I don't know you from Adam.
I could be.
Yeah.
But if I were insane, could I play this good? I'd like to play again
Oh
for
no!
him.
All right, go ahead. Roll a performance check. All right, it's a decent song, and he kind of waves his hand and indicates. So he's like, I've heard better. All right, so what do you have?
Just an ale will do.
And he quickly produces a small wooden mug and hands it to you.
I take it and walk back and just peruse.
Okay.
I don't happen to see anybody that I particularly know in here, do I?
Oh,
like
no.
I know this is all sort of high end, so okay, yeah, I just kind of enjoy music and chit chat to people, that kind of thing.
Are you asking because of your background?
I suppose partially because of my background and because of my faction.
Okay. Just because you're Lord's Alliance doesn't mean that you are constantly in contact with the noble elite.
Yeah, that's fair. I just thought there might be like somebody here that I knew.
It's a good question.
That's all, yeah.
It's a good question. All right.
You could potentially eye some sort of Lord's Alliance symbol on my apparel. Like, I'm also a part of the Lord's Alliance, and I believe that, like, I could potentially have a symbol around if he's looking out for that specifically.
Yeah, but you're in the party together. He's looking for NPCs. All right. Anyway, all right. So again, gonna focus on Snap. All right. You're kind of up here on the balcony, and based on the way the bartender reacted to you, you're getting the impression that you're not supposed to be up here, and you're trying to look nonchalant. You're just kind of looking around, and so you turn your gaze to this painting that they're all talking about. This painting is a masterful rendering of Tiega Ghost wearing a formal scarlet gown. A white fur drapes her shoulders, clasped at her neck by a golden brooch. She stands beside an immense fire that could be a large fireplace or even the edges of a bonfire, and the painter has captured the light of that fire in the details of her figure, from the reflection in her eyes to the gleam of the metal of her brooch. It is an exquisite painting. The likeness is uncanny, and you can see that whoever created this was truly a master. And then
sounds like a lovely painting.
It is quite a lovely painting. And then I need you to roll me and a intelligence check.
Fuck, I'm not smart. Intelligence check. So just click on intelligence.
Yep. Investigation, if you're proficient, will work. 20. 20 is plenty.
I mean, I am proficient in investigation. No, I'm not. Sorry.
All right. Doesn't matter. You already passed. As you look at this painting, you notice something that's kind of odd. The fire depicted received much more attention than the rest of the painting, and you can see that because of the number of brushstrokes and the level of realism. It's almost as if the flames themselves were the subject of the painting and not the woman depicted. And it's kind of curious.
Could I try and get a better look at the fire?
Sure.
Do I perceive anything? What am I rolling?
Perception?
Nope, don't see shit.
So you get real close and you're looking at it, and that's where I'm going to leave you for now. All right, anybody else? We're still mingling, we're still exploring the party.
I'd like to just, seeing as I'm kind of just idling by on the side of the room, I'd like to just keep an eye out for any sort of, like, interesting interactivity between, like, any of the guests, if there's any potential, like, conflict or anything going on that I could kind of just see.
Okay. Looking around the room, you're you do see some people that stand out and are quite remarkable. Particularly, there is a male human that catches your eye. Very tall, imposing, wears long red robes, which the red robes themselves kind of, it seems familiar, but you can't quite put your finger on it. But from where you're standing, you can see that his interactions, like, he keeps his head held up high, and his massive ego just oozes on every word that he says. He just seems very condescending, very, very egotistical.
Could he potentially be like the host of this party? Is that what I'm kind of like the vibe I'm feeling, or?
Without any knowledge of the host or what he looks like, that's a fair assumption.
Okay, I'll just keep an eye on his interactions, just looking out for anything.
Okay, cool. Looking around, you see another human male. This one wearing like parade dress uniforms with medals decorating his chest and shoulders. Obviously a soldier of some kind, highly decorated. And as he kind of navigates through the crowd, he just keeps his mouth closed, nods politely to some of the people. Doesn't really say a whole lot.
Okay. If I could also just like keep an eye on him a little bit, just split my attention, just keeping an eye out, just general.
Sure.
Hearing people talk about this amazing painting, I would probably try and go get a bit of a look at it as well, since I'm here.
Okay.
I would also like to go take a look at the painting.
All right. So that was Mordai and was it Dexus are going upstairs to meet with Snap? Lim. Sorry. Okay. Trying to find the correct page in my notes because I didn't read the entire module beforehand. Okay, so as you guys are upstairs, right? You're looking at this painting, and you guys come to the same conclusions that Snap did, and Snap tells you about the fire receiving so much detail of the painting, and points out the brushstrokes, and he does it with a very snotty kind of voice. But as you're looking at this painting. As you're looking at this painting, you see a man enter the upstairs balcony, and you can see this man has extremely dark hair. It's touched by streaks of gray, and his brown eyes are ringed with the reddish hints that would suggest many sleepless nights drinking. And when he walks up, you see that several nobles just kind of begin to fawn around him, right? And he is clearly uncomfortable with all the attention he's getting. Some of the nobles come up and they're like, "Oh, it is so good to meet you." Fulton goes, "Oh, it is wonderful," and he's like, "Yes, I assure you, the pleasure is all yours. It is wonderful, yeah." And he's just kind of like brushing all these people off. He kind of looks around, and then he sees you guys eyeing the painting. He comes up and he says, "Oh, hello. I don't recall you being on the privileged guest list."
Why else would we be here if we weren't privileged? I mean, we're privileged to see this lovely painting.
Quite. Yes, you may have been allowed into the party with the general rabble, but I don't recall having given you permission to enter the balcony above. No matter. I am a benevolent and forgiving man. You are welcome to come and marvel in the painting. It is wonderful, isn't it?
Why, thank you. Truly is a masterpiece. I'm taken aback by all these lovely flames.
Yes, who is the artist, if you don't mind my asking?
His name is Andric. He is quite an eccentric man, very elusive, but one of the most talented in all the land. It is quite remarkable, isn't it? It's almost like the fire is alive. I mean, you can practically feel the flames licking around your face. It is quite amazing.
Well, have you tested it to make sure it's not like enchanted? Maybe those are real flames.
Enchanted? Boy, what do you think this is? Oddly, I mean, just insane.
Spectacular party with a spectacular painting.
Yes. Quite.
Is this the man that I was observing earlier in the party? The egotistical one that I assumed was the host?
No, sir.
Okay.
Nope, that guy is still on the bottom floor mingling.
Okay, then I'm still just observing down there then.
After a moment, you see another noble come up and joins Zor Fulton Ghost. And you can see that this woman is the one that is pictured in the painting. And he's like, oh, I would assume that you had met my wife, Tiega. She was the one that sat for the picture. It is marvelous. I think that they captured her essence quite well, wouldn't you say?
Yes, indeed. It seems the liveliness of the flames only seek to enhance the image of your wife.
Go ahead. You may say it. She is beautiful. I would be offended if you did not.
Does it actually look like the lady in the painting?
Oh yes, it's dead on.
Lovely.
Lynn would say, yes, of course she's beautiful, and she kind of just smiles sweetly.
Well, as much as this has been fun, husband, I would much prefer to be off. I think I shall get myself a drink. And he's like, no, woman, you will stay. Entertain our fine guests. Come, I must have you in my presence. Such a darling gem to have at my side, isn't she? And you see her face is just, she's obviously got distaste for her husband.
I asked the wife. So, my lady, what was it like sitting for the painting? What was the artist like?
He was a very eccentric man. I mean, he just kind of muttered to himself the whole time, and I don't know. I don't like to speak of it. It was a very boring, mundane encounter.
Perhaps, but I'm sure you'll agree the outcome was quite excellent.
Yes, I'm sure that it was. But I don't know. It was quite fine. Let me find my friend Kata. She's around here somewhere. I'm sure she would love to join us in these in this discussion. Kata, come here, dear. And you see a female human. This one much more plain looking than Tiego. And she walks up and she looks. She says, "Yes. What is this?" She's like, "Oh, our friends here were asking about the painter. You know him, don't you?" It's like, well, yes. I mean, he's a strange one. I've spoken with him on several occasions, but I don't think that's anything of note. Do you? And the two of them are just kind of, they begin chattering to each other and basically ignoring your questions altogether. It's almost like they're in their own little world, and it's not until someone once again references the painting that they look up. And Tiega smiles as she takes in the painting. Kata steps forward with another tall glass of liquor that's potent enough to be smelled even from a great distance. And without warning, she turns and throws the drink in Zora's face. A few stray drops splash on a nearby oil lamp and catch fire. A heartbeat later, brilliant flames blossom across whatever the spirits have touched, including Zora Ghost. Her screams begin to fill the air, mingling with the wretched smell of burning flesh and hair, and guests panic and scramble away from the flames while Kata stares, transfixed by the flames dancing over the beautiful woman and the painting behind her. So beautiful. So very beautiful. She says, her voice kind of trailing off and her eyes kind of glazing over. What are you guys going to do?
At this point, from downstairs, I feel as if I would have heard this commotion up on the balcony and would have made my way there.
You can try, but a lot of the people are running down the stairs, so you're going to get hung up trying to get up there. The three of you that are up on the balcony, what are you doing?
Go ahead.
No. The first thing I was going to do is try and put the flames out and try and use a healing word on is it the husband or is it the wife that's covered in flames?
The wife.
Right. Use healing word.
Zora Tiega Zos. Ghost.
Okay. Yep. I'm going to use a healing word on her and try and use anything that I've got to try and sort of put the flames out.
Right. So gonna smother the flames, right, and then throw a healing word. What about the other two?
Would Ray of Frost help? Deter the flames?
No, it's gonna. That would hurt the woman.
I'd like to say, not the woman on the painting, like where the fire is originating from.
The fire didn't originate from the painting.
I meant, isn't it there? Like around the painting?
No, it's mostly on the woman, a little bit on the carpet, and some on the wall.
Oh, I can help with that.
All right. As you smother the flames on Zora, you can see that she will survive, but she is horribly burned. Whatever beauty she once possessed is now raw and charred. The flames are moving throughout the rest of the area, however, spreading quickly across the finer and flimsy materials along the floor and wall up to the painting. The panicked guests are starting to flee, beginning a terrified throng of people belting for the front door, all of which who are shouting the words "Fire!" and "Help!" Anyone again? You're on the stairs, and these people are kind of running against you. You're at risk of being trampled. What are you going to do?
If I could make my way to an area with less people, try to get off of the stairs or potentially to the side where I could allow people to go by without hindrance, and then make my way up after it's cleared up a little bit.
Okay, so you're just going to kind of move out of the way and then move up afterwards.
Yeah.
All right. Anyone else? Seeing this large panicked stampede of people.
Is Fulton still up top with us?
Who?
Fulton,
yes,
the husband. I'd like to point at the painting and be like, "This is the kind of shit I was talking about." Fire painting, and then here it is, and then walk away a little bit.
He just looks at you wide eyes. What? How could you think that it's because of this mad woman?
Yeah, no, sure, not cursed at all. And just keep walking. I don't want to be anywhere near that painting.
All right, anyone else? What's going on downstairs? Mender's refilling his ale now that the line is gone. All right, Mender, let's see where your head is at.
So, Mordai, because of the commotion, I'm pretending to try and push forward to get to the stairs, get up to the balcony. But as I'm going through, I'm trying to steal as many coin purses as I can.
You can on that note, you're welcome to try, but in Adventures League, you literally can only ever acquire what is on the adventure module. So if you pickpocket someone and you're like, oh, there's 5 gold in there, you don't get that 5 gold. It disappears at the end of the session. So there is no point in trying. There's like specific times where you could try to steal stuff if you're a thief or something like that. This is not one of those times.
Okay.
I know. Fucking Adventure League, take all the fun out of it.
While I'm standing there and watching people go by, if could I try to pay attention to notice if anyone suspicious is running away from the commotion, the flames now?
Anyone suspicious?
Yeah, because I'm not aware of what situation is currently happening up there, so I could
You just seen everybody running.
Exactly. So
everybody is running away, making a break for the door. So both the bald-headed man with the red robes and the soldier that you noticed earlier are trying to get the GTFO.
Okay, then I'll just keep waiting until it clears up a little bit, and I can make my way up then.
As the flames begin to spread, Zor, he kind of stands up at the start. He says, "Come on, everyone! We have to get out of here! Please help me carry Tiega!" And he reaches down to his badly burned wife, and he's trying to drag her away from the flames.
Yep, I'll help out.
I will help out.
Yeah, I'm still already walking away.
All right, a lot of people are helping out, so that won't be difficult at all. You just kind of pick them up and take them out. As you guys make it outside, the dance hall is quickly beginning to burn. The wave and wink is quickly lost to the flames, and the fire is overwhelming. As you make it outside, a lot of the nobles are standing around, kind of shocked and in awe. You've seen that during the stampede, as everybody was running out, there were several people that were trampled, and the casualties are quite high.
Is there a water well anywhere nearby?
A water well. Looking around, there's none that you can see.
Oh, okay then.
During the commotion, if I would have seen anyone being actively trampled, I could have tried to attempt to help out a little bit.
But you didn't.
Yeah, I probably would have been casting Spare
there was
the Dying as well.
3 times during that. I was like, does anybody want to do anything? And nobody said anything. So you could have.
I was saying I was watching out, and I didn't hear of other people getting trampled. You asked if you were saying I was about to get trampled.
Doesn't matter.
But I didn't know other people were getting trampled. Okay.
So as you're standing there, Zor walks up to you, and he points to a couple of you. First to Bray, then Mordai, then Mender. He says, "You need to restrain that woman. Summon the City Watch. She has to pay for what she has done."
Restrain her? I don't work for you.
Then he points to a few other people, and they respond. The guards, the City Watch is summoned. They quickly arrive. He relates the events that happened, insisting that Katsa tried to kill his beautiful wife.
We're outside now, right?
Yes, everybody is outside.
As soon as I got outside and it calmed down a little bit, I would like to have taken out my lute and played some really somber music on it.
Are you sure you're not playing Nero? Said, are you sure you're not playing Nero?
I don't know. I'm just playing some somber music, is all.
Are there injured outside of the bar that I could assist with?
Yeah, there's some people that are laying down on the ground outside, obviously suffering from smoke inhalation. There's others that have minor injuries, but it seems like everybody who made it out of the bar is going to survive.
Okay, I'll just attend to the few people that I could potentially help out a little bit with any minor healing things that I could do or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do much the same. Spare the dying anywhere I need to, and I've got medicine as a trained skill as well to help out if anybody needs it.
Okay.
12
So
off will help the same.
I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the bonfire and remark, this is the second burning building he's been in this week.
yes, it is. I wonder if there's a pattern. It's him. Hashtag spot the cultist. As Zor is standing around, he is again telling the guards that Katia tried to kill his wife. One of the guards looks up and he's like, "Well, why would she try to kill your wife? I thought they were friends." And you hear Zor talking like, the rabble always resents those that rightfully rule, and in the performance check. As you're standing here, you can see that there are several of the nobles are still just kind of standing around. Tiega, even though badly burned, is unconscious, but she seems like she's going to live. Then you see a couple other people just marveling at the horror that just transpired, and then you see a male half-elf being restrained by a couple of the party goers, and he's running, trying to get to the front, and he's yelling. He's very upset, and he's like, "My wife would never do this. She's innocent."
Hearing Felton telling the guard, saying, she tried to kill my wife and whatnot. I would also try and speak to one of the guards and explain what I saw as a witness, that she just kind of seemed to walk up and throw her glass at somebody's face, but it happened to go onto an oil lamp as well. It seemed more like an accident than an intentional attempted murder or anything like that.
The guard kind of looks at you and he's like, "I don't know. You said she threw her drink, and you said it was a very strong alcohol, yes?"
Yeah, she might have had a little bit too much to drink and not realized that it could potentially catch flame with some of the alcohol hitting an oil lamp.
At this point, Zora starts to yell, "Who wouldn't know that it would set alight the flame from the alcohol? It was obviously premeditated." And then this other man is like, "Of course it wasn't. She would never harm her. Katya admired the noblewoman." And the two start yelling and shouting at each other. And it's quite hard to hear anything otherwise.
I'd like to walk up to Spartan or Lynn, right?
Yes, that's right.
And be like, "Hey, look, you're not helping, man. Just walk back up." Or lady, right? Just, you're not making this any better, and then just keep playing, my sad music.
Because the sad music is helping?
I mean, maybe more dramatic tones now, because, there's drama. So, sad, but, with dramatic,
I don't know why in my head you're like, I'm going to play the saddest song that I can think of. And it's like Yakety Sax or something.
I mean, you can play sad music on a lute, right? It's not tuned high. I mean,
it's the Titanic song.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's probably tuned high, but still playing my music with some dramatic tones to it.
I kind of wave him off like you would a fly that's kind of buzzing around your head.
I'm not bothered by it. I just keep playing.
All right.
Where's the woman that's being restrained?
She's in front of you. The guards have her. You see she's being led away. She is completely unresponsive. She doesn't resist being apprehended. Her eyes are just kind of like staring off into the distance. And anytime she's moved, she turns her head to stare towards the nearest flame. Nothing seems to be able to snap her out of what's afflicting her. And the only movement that she willingly does is just to turn and look at the flames.
Well, she doesn't appear to be in shock. Perhaps something else has come over her. After all, if the two women were as good friends as they seemed, it's very
Like an
unlikely that
enchanted
this would have
painting,
happened.
maybe.
If I see that odd behavior, I don't know if divine sense would help, but I could cast divine sense and kind of like if I'm getting an eerie feeling about her and her like continuous looking towards the flames, I could cast a divine sense and see if I get anything off. I don't know if it'll really affect anything too much, but I'd like to do that.
All right, so casting divine sense, you don't get any because divine sense only senses like certain creatures, celestials, elementals, stuff like that,
or things, consecrated, desecrated, and I just thought I'd okay.
Do I hear Lynn and Snap talking about a painting?
Did you?
Yes, just now. Did I? Or was I in earshot of them talking about this painting?
They haven't been talking about the painting since they left.
I've been mentioning a painting like this.
I mean, just this most
enchanted.
recent. Now that I'm right here, I'm gonna walk over to
We can
them.
reasonably assume the party shared what they had seen together.
Okay, so then
What's
Snap
this about a
probably
painting?
mentioned cursing or like the painting being cursed because he said that to Fulton as well. So like I feel
100%. I would have mentioned that while still playing because I'm not going to stop.
After Katya is taken away, the half elf that was yelling, adamantly trying to say that she wouldn't have done this, comes up and approaches you. He looks around and he points to some of your belts and backs. I see your weapons. You're adventurers, huh?
Indeed.
Sure.
I'd like to hire you for a job. And he pulls out a pouch and throws it on the ground. And when it hits, you can see that there's a number of coins inside.
What is this job?
I need you to prove that some outside force caused my wife to do this. This is not who she is. And I don't trust the City Watch to investigate it. I fear that I fear that the City Watch could be under Zor's thumb, and that they would just go along with whatever he says is best, not actually searching for the cause, not actually pursuing any form of justice. I need a private group of investigators to look into this matter, and quickly. For I fear that the City Watch, if on Zor's command, would be all too hasty to judge and execute my poor, beloved Kata.
I will take your job. I'm a survivor from the Lady Culkin's Manor, and I know something is strange in this town.
I will take the job.
Dude, it's it's the spooky painting.
It's a spooky painting.
The spooky painting, I'm telling you guys.
What about the painting? What are you saying, sir?
It was spooky. Like, you could look at it, and then you could, like, look through it, and the fire was real. I think it was cursed or something, or enchanted, or maybe the painting was alive. I don't really know. I'm not a paint expert.
I think you're reading a little too much into it.
Then investigate the source
it
of this painting. I need you to determine what happened.
It was a painting of her on fire, and then she caught on fire, literally. How is that my reading?
Here. He pulls out another pouch, and he throws this on the ground, too. This one twice as large as the first. 50 gold pieces for evidence that might exonerate my wife, or at least save her from execution. 100 gold pieces if you find who was behind this and deal with them like the dogs that they are.
You know of any enemies she might have?
I'll use Mage Hand to pick up the coins.
Yeah, I'll just take this. Nobody add those to your sheet. It's party loot that's all distributed at the end.
Is the building burnt to the ground behind us?
It's burning. Oh, it's so on fire. All right. He's like, I don't care what you have to do. Talk to anyone, interrogate by any means necessary. I don't care. Maim, torture, kill. You must free my wife. That's the only thing that matters to me. And he starts to crack up. He's so sad.
Wait. So, you want us to murder people to prove that your wife isn't.
I don't care about your methods. Just don't tell me about it.
Do you
Point is
know where we
point.
can find the painter?
I do not, but I'm sure if you ask around, you may be able to find out. Somebody has to know where he is.
I know his name. Andrik. The painter.
I saw a fancy dressed person earlier, right? Like a super fancy on the main floor, the bottom floor.
Yes.
Do I see him again in the crowd of people that are dispersed outside of the tavern now?
Actually, no. He seems to have gone missing.
What about the other guy that was egotistical and I assumed to be the host?
I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you were talking about that man. No,
Oh, okay,
the soldier
there were two, okay.
is still in attendance. The bald man with the long red robes and the
yes.
egotistical attitude, he is the one that is missing.
Okay. I convey that sense to the rest of the party. Just that I noticed a weird individual on the main floor earlier before the commotion started, and he's not present anymore afterwards.
Torloff would like to go looking for the said man in the long red robes.
Just kind of making a way through the crowd and looking around, there's no sight of him.
Okay.
This man is gone.
Did she have any enemies?
Are you asking?
Yeah.
Okay. He looks at you and he says, "No, none. Kata was a very quiet, caring, and compassionate soul. She never wronged anyone in her life, nor have I. I mean, we run a tavern for the wealthy and the extravagant. I mean, people love us."
I think ran would probably be a better term if this is the tavern that you're
Is
talking
now the time to argue over semantics, boy?
What if Tiago? Had she any enemies?
Oh, of that I do not know. You'll have to speak to others than I.
Tiago said that your wife knew the painter.
Did she?
Do you know? Yes. Do you know who? Where we might find him? I figure if your wife knew, then perhaps you do.
I was unaware that my wife knew such a man. What did you hear?
They were having adventures together. A few times.
What do you mean, adventures?
Please ignore
What do
my
you
friend.
mean?
He's a complete imbecile.
I just keep playing.
And say, well, yes. When we were talking about the painting, Tiago said that her friend Katia would know more about him. That perhaps she knew him personally. I thought perhaps they'd, had had contact.
He puts up his
for a
hand and he
painting
closes
before.
his eyes, and he's just kind of like stop. He's like, I don't want to know. I don't think that if things don't go well and my kata is executed, this is not how I want to remember her. Just get to the bottom of it and contact me as soon as you can. And he starts walking away, clearly frustrated. As he's walking through the crowd, you see him just kind of reach out and snatch a bottle of wine from someone, and they're like, "Hey!" But he doesn't ignore. He just ignores them and keeps on walking.
To the rest of the party, we could potentially go to her name's Kata or whatever, the one who caught the hostess's wife on flames.
Mm-hmm.
We could go to wherever she's being taken and potentially try to talk to her because she knows the artist potentially, right?
So does the wife, though.
Yeah,
And-
the wife
Yeah, but
does
the
as
wife
well.
is in no place to talk right now. She's unconscious, heavily
That's true.
burned,
The husband would probably know.
potentially.
It's probably easier to speak with him, considering that Katia has been taken into custody, and we have no real connections to be able to get in to speak to her. They might not let us in. Tiega is unconscious at the minute, so she's not in good enough condition. I think if we want to find anything out, the husband's probably the best idea, unless we start asking around town.
We could also ask around the people that are still gathered outside the tavern, seeing if anyone knows the man who was dressed in red earlier who disappeared afterwards, and also about the
on
artist.
that note, should point out that you guys still standing outside the burning tavern, you're still surrounded by a crowd of the survivors, right? So everybody who was at the party, they're still just kind of hanging out, except for the mysteriously disappearing man in red, the Kata's husband, whose name I can't remember, Erdin,
Fulton?
who has ran off with his bottle of wine, and then Fulton. That's Zor Fulton Ghost. That's the husband of Tiega.
Is he also gone, or is he there?
No, he's gone. He's left with the city watch. I should
then
put this into chat, right? I put Zora's name in the chat, but it kind of shows it like Zor Fulton goes, Zora Tiega goes. Oh.
Are they related? Sisters?
No, they're married.
Okay.
I know it's weird. So what would you guys like to do?
I would say we could ask around because everyone that we were talking about to go talk to about the artist is not present, right? So there's just a crowd of nameless people. I'd say we could potentially talk to them, ask them, and if anyone knows the man dressed in red, or like any information that we could potentially gather. I don't know.
Okay. I agree. Let's talk with some of the survivors.
All right. So
sure.
you begin to walk towards the crowd, right? And the people that are not, currently injured or hurt, they're kind of huddled together and they're talking and they're like, "Oh my God, what happened? Did you see this?" And you see that there is one man, very large in stature, big flowing beard, and he's still currently holding a bottle of ale. Obviously drunk, but loving all the attention. He's like, "I've seen everything. It was amazing. The fire came through. It was like whoosh, and then the curtain went up, and it was like whoosh." And he sees you guys. He's like, "Oh, yes. What?"
How big is he?
He's very large. He's like 6'3", like 4'10", like very, very corpulent, very round.
Okay, I was just saying, like, how tall is tall? You know what I'm saying. I'm just eyeballing him. I'll go up to him and humor him. What did you see up there? This is so crazy.
I've seen everything. What do you want to know?
I want to know about this painting.
It was quite beautiful, wasn't it? It's a shame that it had to be destroyed. It's probably the worst tragedy that happened here tonight.
Well, these fellows say that the fire was alive.
Who said that?
No, the stupid guy playing the guitar, playing the lute. He said it's alive.
I'm playing the guitar, looking for the bartender.
Yeah, I point over to where he is. He says the fire was alive. The fire wasn't alive. It was very, very detailed, but the fire wasn't alive.
You might humor me with the superstition in this town. There's something here.
Oh. Well,
yeah.
It was an amazing painting, right? I know that it's been hanging in the Wave and Wink since early morning. And I know that Kata oversaw its installation herself and remarked on how beautiful it was through a number of times throughout the day.
We've been told to try and speak with the painter, but we have no clue to where to begin.
Aye, it's a damned shame, isn't it? Fulton says that the painter was his nephew, and that he hasn't been seen in over a week.
That's strange indeed. Does he live around here?
I believe he does. But when last I spoke with Fulton, and he kind of starts grabbing his shirt, obviously eating up the attention, When Fulton last spoke with Endrick is his name, he visited his home and he was not there. Something that wasn't quite suspicious at the time, because from what I understand, the artist is prone to flighty behavior, tends to just leave on a whim and check out exotic locales and want to paint their beauty and capture their essence or some other whimsy, fartsy bullshit.
Who might know where he was, where he resides? He might come back. Maybe we could catch him then.
Oh, I don't know. I'm sorry, sir. I don't think I have that information for you.
But you might know someone who does. You seem like a resourceful and friendly person who knows a lot of people.
He kind of holds his hands up and he points to the crowd. He's like, "These are the wealthiest bunch of assholes in all of Mulmaster. I'm sure one of them has to know where the painter is."
Fair point.
Quickly, did you happen to notice a large man in red robes, bald head? He seemed to be had a bit of a crowd around him at one point.
You mean a Zach Thrum? Aye, that guy's a bit of a bastard, I've heard. Yes.
He's
The rumor is
market.
that he is a red wizard of Thay. Aye, I know. And the thing is, right, is he doesn't have the tattoos and the other things that would mark such a man. But he certainly dresses like one. Am I right? Am I right, brother? And he starts like tapping you in the chest, like, am I right?
I just got sister, but yes.
He was hitting
okay.
Mender there because you're both there.
I'll just kind of look down at him. Sure, whatever you say.
I just happened to notice that he's markedly absent.
Oh, he is, isn't he? Tall bastard probably buggered off to go polish that head of his. Oh, he starts tapping you again. How big is Mender? He is a Goliath, so you're what, 8.5, 9 feet?
Yeah, I'm over 8 foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm tall. I'll he's as he's poking me like force a laugh.
Very well then. I'll leave you to your night, and then I'll move off and try and see if there's anybody I can either find any information about this painter or the large ball man. Was it Azak Throm?
Yep. Okay.
Do I find the bartender that I was looking for?
Sure.
Because I meant the one upstairs, the fancy bartender.
Yeah, the old guy.
Yeah.
You walk up to him, and he's kind of sitting down on the ground, and he looks up at you, and he's like, "Oh, it's you."
Still playing, by the way.
Sure.
I was wondering if you knew of the painter Endrick. I loved his work. I was wondering if I could commission him. I need to find him.
I am but a bartender, sir. I do not have the money for such extravagant things like the painter's work.
No, but you have an open ear. And many patrons.
That I do. Where is this going, young sir?
I just wanted to know if you knew where I could find the painter. Like I said, I truly do love his work. From one artist to another, I simply appreciate it.
I do believe I could direct you to his domicile.
Lovely. I'd like to flip my gold coin.
Ah, thank you. Hey, while you investigate the matters here, because that is what you're doing, isn't it?
I'm just looking for the painter. I don't know about anybody else. But if you knew anything,
well, let me give you a hint. That woman that threw the drink and burned Our Lady.
Yes.
Yes, I seen her talking with a tall fellow earlier in the day. Tall, bald head, long red robes. They were whispering to each other quite often. And then, after she walked away, I seen the fellow pull out a book and start writing notes furiously. That was shortly before she burned Our Lady.
Oh, that does seem intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Does he tell me where the painter is at?
The painter?
The painter, yeah. Because I want to know where the painter's at.
He doesn't know. He already told you he doesn't know.
I thought he said he was... Never mind, okay.
He told you where his house was, and he...
Yeah, he told me where the painter's house was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Not like where the painter was specifically right now, just like directions to his house. Okay, I'd like to...
Did we ask that big guy if he knew where Ezek Throm was? Did we ask him if he knew where he was?
Yeah, you did. Because you were like, hey, where is he? And he's like, oh, shit, he's really not here. Where is he?
Oh, okay.
I'd like to regroup with the party.
Okay.
And tell them what I found out. About the lady talking to the bald man, who I don't know, because I wasn't there. And then the book they took out and took notes in.
Okay. Would anybody else like to do anything?
So I would continue to go around, if I can, like helping people and try and strike up conversation about the large man.
Okay.
With the bald head, like if anybody saw him or anybody knows where he's gone.
Another woman, right? One of the the halfling bartender that we talked about earlier. She seems to be suffering from some injuries. So as you walk up and you're binding her wounds, what would you like to say to her?
I say, oh, terrible, what's gone on. We've been asked. We've been asked to. Me and a couple of friends of mine have been asked to sort of look into what exactly went on. There was a chap that was around. In fact, he just before Catty had thrown the oil. Thrown the liquor. He was actually speaking to her, but he seems to be absent.
You think Azak had something to do with this? Oh, honey.
No, he might just know. You're
barking up the wrong tree.
Information.
You see, I tend bar at the Wave and Wink, and I've seen Tiega ghosts regularly dancing with Erdun late into the night, and despite the time they were spending together, it was nothing improper, nothing lascivious or unbecoming of a lady of stature, but it was very obvious that Kata did not like her husband dancing with Tiega. I say it was jealousy drove her to burn the woman.
I'd like to make an insight check to see if she's
telling
being
the truth.
Truthful about this. She is, okay. Interesting. Well, that gives us something else to talk about. But you wouldn't happen to know where I could find Azak, would you? Just in case he could maybe shed a little more light on things. Allow us to paint a clearer picture. Yes.
He lives in a quiet neighborhood near the Thayan embassy. And she gives you some quick directions where you could find his house.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'll go back to sort of applying whatever medical treatment I can, and then kind of head off.
Okay.
And meet up with the rest of the party and say, well, it seems the plot thickens. It seems like Tiega had been dancing with Katia's husband quite often, a little more so than might be strictly polite, given the circumstances, but
wow,
not enough
that's great. That's fantastic. I say we should get going already.
All right, going where?
To one of these fucking houses.
Well, why don't we discuss which one we're going to go to before we go, eh?
the tournament music changes immediately. Something very, very dramatic.
It's just a quick 3 chords. Dun dun dun.
Yeah, exactly.
So, leads so far seem to be trying to find the painter, talking with Erden about what dancing with the victim, and Azak, who lives near the Thayan embassy, who also might know something.
Also figuring out who cursed the painting. Probably was the painter, though. Real talk. And then go back to...
So we're heading there first to the embassy place.
It's probably. I mean, at least we know that's where he's likely to be. We know
Do we know if one of the places is closer than the other? Like if the painter's house is closer, let's say, then...
Let's say they are all equidistant.
As far as we know, the painter's not been seen in a week, so it's unlikely that he's at his house.
We could go there and check and see if there's any curse work or anything like that would indicate that he is who
You're
we
really
expect
holding
he
onto
is.
this bone, aren't you?
We don't have to. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
It's something to check out. But if Azak did have anything to do with it, it's likely that he would head back to his house, and then try and beat a hasty retreat. So I'd rather try and catch him if we can, if indeed he had something to do with it.
I support you in whatever you decide.
So where are we going,
All
party?
right, let's head out. Zach.
Zach.
To Azak. All right.
The tune changes to the whatever melody was playing when they were in Wizard of Oz, where they're off to find the wizard. That.
All right. Situated in a quiet neighborhood near the embassy, his small house stands in a tiny yard surrounded by a low iron fence. It's not difficult to locate because you get directions to the approximate area, and then a small sign etched in common on the gate says Azak Thrum. As you approach, you see one of the neighbors is outside walking a small dog. And the neighbor kind of gives you a little half-hearted wave.
Yeah, I would wave back. I'd say, are you a neighbor of Azak?
I am.
Excellent. He wouldn't happen to be home, would he?
I believe he is. I don't know. He comes and goes at all hours of the day and night.
Okay, well, stay safe tonight. There's been a bit of trouble over the Wink and Wave, so just keep your wits about you tonight, eh?
And goes about walking the dog.
Mender will walk up and knock on the door for Azak.
Okay. He answers the door. You can see that he is hung up his large, extravagant red robes. Still dressed in all red, but this time it's just a simple smock and some trousers. And he answers the door, and he kind of puts his hand up to his face. He's like, "Oh dear, yes. How can I help you?"
I'll drop to one knee, so I'm kind of eye level with him.
You drop to a knee? That puts you at eye level?
To kind of get just so I can lower my.
Sure, I got you.
Into a child, and you kind of, hello there, little fella.
Yeah, I assume. Anyway, if you have a moment, we know you were at the party night, and we saw you, and we
Of course, I was at the
we've
party.
been asked to inquire around about the circumstances of the night.
And what is your hand in all of this? I mean, why? I don't recognize you as one of the Hawks. I don't know you to be a member of the soldiery. So why are you investigating this?
I'm a freelance interested party.
an interested party. Well, I'm interested to know why you are bothering me right now. After that ghastly ordeal, I just wanted to enjoy a nightcap at my home in peace, which you, sir, are interrupting.
I'm sorry, it's been a rough night for a lot of people, so I hope you'll humor us for a moment.
Certainly. Let's just make this quick, please. Obviously
Go ahead,
annoyed.
gentlemen. I'll open the conversation and point to the other guys who are a little more loquacious than me.
All right. I guess I'll kind of step forward. I'll say, Master Thrum, we've, as you've heard, we've been investigating. We've spoken to a few people, and it's been noted that you were seen talking and whispering with Katia before she went and threw the liquor onto the fire, starting the blaze. She also seemed to not entirely have her wits about her. That didn't seem quite due to the alcohol. And after you'd spoken, you seemed to be making some rather hasty notes in a book that you were carrying. I was just wondering what it was about.
I don't know what you were speaking of. Maybe the notes you were referring to was my personal diary. I like to keep a fond record of all of my events and revelries for posterity, sir. You see, I am here as a member of our embassy, and I have to detail thorough reports back to my home country at the end of each week.
No, I understand. Then might I ask what was the nature of your conversation and your whispering with the accused?
Whispering. I would hardly call it whispering. It's just we had to be very close to hear each other over the raucous rabble of the party. But Kata and myself, we are casual acquaintances. Just a pair that are friendly to each other after our frequent encounters at the Wave and the Wink. It is quite a fine establishment, and I am a bit of a regular.
Well,
Sorry, I just want to look past him and see if I can notice anything disheveled or odd about the room he's in, or what we can see. Yeah,
inside of his home, everything is incredibly neat and tidy. You can see the robe that he was wearing is hung up on a hook, and there's a bookshelf, and every book they're organized by height in rows, and then alphabetically. You can see that there is nothing disheveled about this man.
And nothing looks out of place at all?
Nothing looks out of place at all.
Perfect. I just keep playing my tunes.
Okay.
To sort of continue the conversation, then I'd say, well, obviously, with you having spoken as much as you did, you didn't happen to notice anything off about her then, since you'd been casual acquaintances. Anything off about her personality, or anything she might have mentioned that might have given any indication that she may have been unhappy with Tiega or anything of that nature?
Oh, no. She seemed perfectly fine. Nothing out of the ordinary at all.
Okay. Can I make an insight check?
Sure.
That's not a great roll.
No, it is not. It appears that everything he's telling you is truthful.
Okay. And she didn't happen to mention meeting anybody new?
No. Like I said, we are casual acquaintances. We're not involved in all of the affairs of the other.
Ah, very well. You didn't happen to know what her relationship with the painter was? The painter of the fantastic painting that was upstairs.
The painter?
Andrik.
Yes, Andrik.
Didn't believe that she had a relationship with the painter. I thought that was Lord Fulton's acquaintance.
Interesting. We were told but we were told by Tiega, in fact, that she knew the painter. But Interesting. Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions?
I'll take that as a no.
Do you know of any, painting curses?
What?
Like, do you know of any painters who often...
I was just going to say, as you mentioned, like cursed painting or anything like that, I kind of huff and roll my eyes.
Do you know of any painters who curse their paintings? Because this painting, it was alive, one could say.
There was nothing wrong with the painting. You were being quite preposterous. I think you may need to lie down, because obviously the smoke has affected your brain.
Upon mentioning the painting...
Can I insight check that?
Yeah, I was
You're
gonna
more
say.
than welcome to insight check him.
Wait, both of us or just one of us?
It doesn't matter.
Okay, nope.
He's related to me.
All right, well, both of you again, it appears he is telling the truth.
I walk a little bit away. I've lost interest.
I just look at him weirdly and just keep playing. And back up, I guess.
Well, thank you for your time. I think that's as much as we can ask right now.
Please, if you do come across any other information, if it's not too much trouble, we would appreciate you passing that information along to us.
And he begins to step into his house and close the door.
You didn't give him your name. How's he going to get to us?
He'll probably be able to find us. We're a fairly notable group, especially with this one here, as I motion towards Menda.
Good call.
Yes, I stand out a little.
And I play loudly when he does,
What about this guy's horns? And I point to Snap.
What's wrong with my horns? Rude.
Sure, why not?
I'm not the only horned one here.
There's a few of you around here and there.
Yeah, lots of people here are horny.
Well, let's make the most of the night and head to this painter's. I don't think we'll get much more done.
Sure.
So now where are you going?
To the painter's house to break and enter.
Okay. All right.
When we get close to where his house was described, I stop playing and put my loot away, to not arouse suspicion.
Okay.
If we're going to be any, at least. I want to leave the options open.
As you approach, you see that even though the painter is from the noble Ghost family, his house is, fairly mediocre and unassuming. It's a small single-room dwelling in a stinking neighborhood close to the harbor, and walking up to the building, you find that the front door is locked and the windows are shuttered. There's no sounds coming from within.
Knock on the door.
Knocking on the door, and you are greeted with no reply.
Can I peek around the side and see if there's another entrance towards the back?
There is not.
Does it look like anyone's around in the general vicinity?
Not
Other than us?
particularly, but all the houses here are pretty close together.
Mm-hmm.
No one else is out on the street.
Nope.
Like, I'm not saying we break and enter. Especially
I'm gonna use
because
my crowbar to open the door.
well, okay.
Wait, what was that?
Yeah, I didn't hear what he said either.
I'm going to use I'm going to use my crowbar and open the door.
All right, strength athletics with advantage. You try to force the door open, but despite being in a bad neighborhood, it's quite sturdy material, and you are unable to force the lock.
I don't mind entering. and I can appreciate breaking, but are we agreed on this? This is what we want to do? Is
Can
there
I
no way
make
to
a
enter?
strength check to break the door?
Yep.
Seems like we are.
Strength athletics.
How do I do the roll?
Just locate on your character sheet where it says athletics and click it. Once
He doesn't get
again,
advantage on his?
no, he does not. He had advantage because he used a crowbar. That's what crowbars do. They give you
Oh.
advantage on strength checks to try and force something open. So yeah, you punch this door trying to knock it open, and with a loud bang, it kind of just shakes within its lock, and it still stands shut ahead of you.
Stand aside.
Do doors like this normally have just like a simple sort of latch lock on the inside, or is it like a normal keyhole lock?
Are you trying to determine the locking mechanism from the outside?
Yeah, I mean, is there a keyhole?
You can see a keyhole. Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I don't really have anything that I can help with.
Hand me the crowbar. Step out of the way.
I hand him my other crowbar.
Can I look around and see if anyone's noticing the ruckus we're making?
You do see that remember I said that the houses are very close together, so
Yeah.
you see that there are a couple faces peeking out from behind curtains, and they're looking at you, and when they see you looking at them, they just kind of close it. And
I walk across the street and just kind of lurk a little bit.
Well, as you are walking away, Mender forces the door open.
Yeah, I still walk away.
I'm going to crowbar back
a look at.
after you, little one.
All right, who's going in the house?
Dexus will go in.
I just mentioned, watch out for cursed paintings.
I'll stand watch. Take your time.
So Mender and Snap are staying outside. What about everyone else?
I'll go inside,
I'll go inside.
and I'll cast light while I'm in there as well.
Okay. All right. Moving in.
1 second. I'd like to keep an eye out. If I see anybody that looks suspicious, or that they notice that the house is being broken and entered, I'd like to take out my lute and just start playing loudly in another direction. Just try and distract from the house.
That's an interesting thought.
Yeah. If I see somebody, crying, I would just like to distract them somewhere else. Just play loudly.
All right.
I appreciate the effort, but the townsfolk here don't really care that much about one another to intervene, and the guard is
Not only that,
preoccupied.
but if you guys are trying to be quiet, you just pull out your lute and you're like...
No. I'm only playing the lute if I see people trying to investigate what's going on. I'm not playing it. I'm just keeping an eye out, and if I see somebody get...
Right. The only thing you see on the street, okay, is one of the residents leaves their home, and they begin walking down the road.
Away or towards us?
Away from you.
Then I have no quarrels with that person.
Okay. You done goofed. Anyway.
So where's that? No, where did that person exit from?
What do you mean?
So they are just
a house across the street.
Houses. That's suspicious.
It is suspicious.
I'm gonna call out to that person. Excuse me.
Oh?
Do you have a moment?
No, I really must be going.
I insist, please.
No.
Just a moment. I'll make it worth your time.
No, I'd much prefer to, go.
Walk up to him.
Oh, he starts walking away from you.
I'd like to, as non-aggressively as possible, catch him.
So you're gonna start running towards him?
Can I do a light jog? There's really no such thing as a light jog from someone as big as me. But
you're going to... Okay, so you hasten your step, and as you do, this guy looks behind his shoulder, sees you gaining on him, and he goes into a full sprint, right? And as he's running, he is shouting, "Guards! Guards! There's been a break-in! Guards! Help!"
I walk the other way. Just try not to draw attention to myself.
Are you still going to chase him?
No, I'm going to give up.
I stay inside the house.
Dexus is investigating even faster.
All right, hastily investigating. Let's go.
I'm going to duck into a nearby alley, or I guess is there any space between the houses?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, you're walking through. The narrow confines of the single room barely contains the riot of art supplies that litter the floor, the cabinets, the shelves. Nearly every flat surface of this area is just covered in art supplies. The bed frame has been turned over to serve as a low shelf for tinctures of dried out paint and jars of multi-hued water with floating brushes. You can see that there are 3 easels that surround a small wooden table blackened by scorch marks and caked in the wax of candles burned down to nubs and the ash of unconsumed twigs and even small pieces of driftwood. Scorched firewood fills the tiny hearth to overflowing, packed so tightly that whatever fire burned there was choked completely out. Balls of blackened paper are wedged amid the wood at the bottom of the stack. All right, what are we doing? Remember, we're in a hurry. Guards are coming.
Yep. So I'm gonna look around for signs of maybe where the painter might have gone. It looks like he's done a lot of experimenting in trying to work on being able to properly paint flames. So
investigation check. Oh, is that what these are in chat?
Yes. Yeah.
So Dexus, Bray, and Lynn are all looking around, right? Dexus, you're able to determine, looking around the room at the layer of dust and everything, the disarray, you're able to determine he hasn't been here in several weeks. Okay? Bray, as you're searching the area, you are able to find a series of papers on a desk, some of which contain unfinished sketches, but there is one that is a letter, and it catches your attention. Half of the letter has been burned away, but what remains reads, by informed patrons of the arts, such as Doral Sire and Tiega Ghost. Thus, with great pleasure, I invite you to display your works at the Iron Heart Gallery for a period of no less than 3 months, so that Momasterites can embrace your genius and we can further engender an interest in true artistry. Yours in admiration, Jarina Plem. This is the letter that you found. There is the text. And then, let me see if there's anything else of note. You do find, on one of the, oh fuck, I forgot the word. On one of the easels, goddamn. On one of the easels, covered in sooty smudges, there is a charcoal drawing depicting a hastily drawn neighborhood. The large building in the center of this image is awash in flames, but upon closer inspection, the flames are constrained by the edges of the building, as if the building is adorned by the representation of the flames rather than consumed by them. On the edge of the paper, the words Azak Throm, followed by a question mark, appear on the edge.
Very interesting. Is it a small enough piece of paper for me to wrap up and take with me?
No, sir. Remember, big on the easel.
Okay. Then I would just write a quick note about it in my book and then point it out to the rest of the guys.
Okay. As you guys are in the house, you can hear a noise off in the distance, and it's very sharp and shrill. Hard to determine what it is. So make a perception check. Everybody, whoever wants to. Dexus, Lynn, it's a whistle. There sounds like there's people coming in your direction, and they're blowing whistles.
Time to go.
That'll be the guards. Yep, let's go.
Let's go.
Oh, I'll take the note, by the way.
Okay. Of course. And running out of the home, joining Snap in the alley nearby. Snap was in the alley, or was that?
I was like walking down the road, looking like I wasn't trying to touch myself.
I wasn't with them.
And I was just casually walking. They could catch up.
All right, yeah. So all the party leaves. You all regroup in the road, share the information that you've discovered, and do what?
All right, so we've got one more place to go visit. I wonder, just because I don't know whether or not this would work, but if I were to cast Mending on the note, would that be able to restore? No.
In order to mend something, you have to have both pieces. It doesn't restore something that's been burned. It just seals. It's like tape. It seals something that's broken.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so I guess only other place we've got left is Erdic. Is it Erdic? Yeah, Erden. Sorry, Erden Brizik.
That's the husband.
Well, how about this Ironheart Gallery in Drina Plem?
The painting that had Azek Throm on it, or like that mentioned, it had the name Azek Throm, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it did.
So we should probably reinvestigate that. That seems kind of suspicious to me.
It does.
I feel as if we weren't completely successful last time we went there.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, he seemed to be telling the truth as far as I could tell, but I mean, another the reason that I mentioned Erdic, the husband, is because obviously we found out that him and the victim, Tiega, had been spending a lot of time dancing together, and that seemed to annoy, well, or at least to anger Catherine a little bit.
Wait, you saved her, right?
Yes, I did.
Are we under the assumption that it was an attempt on her life?
Well, that's what we're trying to investigate, whether or not it was an attempt on her life.
I thought we were trying to clear up the person's name. That
we're hired to save the lady, like clear her name. But if
if we can say that it's not an attempt on her life, then that clears her name.
If it's not her, someone else might attempt it again.
Bum, bum, bum.
Like, where is she now? You saved her. If it weren't for you, I don't think anyone else there would have been there in time to put out the flames and heal her.
Was she not like carried off by guards outside of the tavern to go get?
But their actions were slow. If not for Lynn, she'd be dead for sure.
Plus, guards are corrupt.
The gods are in the pocket of the husband, aren't they?
From my experience, guards are corrupt. So I mean.
Well, where are we going? Azak Throm or this Ironheart Gallery, Drina Plem stuff that we just found out?
Unless we have a concrete plan as far as what we want to ask Azak Throm, he's not going to be happy to see us twice in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to tell us shit unless we try to force it out of him.
Unless we bring pastries. But I don't have any pastries.
Also, if we think we're confronting anyone by a lie, expect that they're going to be inhospitable.
We could check on the wife, see if she's okay. We never looked into that. I don't know.
Well, why don't we speak to Katya? Maybe she's come too. Go to the source.
Yes. I mentioned that earlier, but she's being held by the guards. We are not sure if we could get in.
You don't even know where the guards have taken her.
True.
Oh, well, that's complicated.
We could check the local penitentiary.
Okay, so let's just explore that avenue because it's the quickest to resolve. You go to the penitentiary. You say that you're examining the events. The guards quickly stonewall. You say no one's allowed to meet with the prisoners, and they shoo you along.
Is it suspicious in the way, or is it just like standard? Like
It's pretty standard around here.
I would feel so. Yeah.
Were these
Yeah,
the
be
standard
straight.
guards, or the? Is it the Hawks that are here?
No, these are just the soldiers.
Okay.
All right, so where are we going?
We can check out the gallery if you want.
Gallery.
Let's go check out the gallery.
Okay. The gallery is currently closed. It's open during the midday.
Hasn't stopped us so far.
But as you approach, you do see a woman inside, and she's kind of just walking around, like tidying stuff up.
Could we knock on the door?
Sure. As you do, she kind of looks with a start and begins to approach. Let me give you some background on the area. Long, narrow gallery is lit by a surprising number of lanterns hung from walls and ceiling. Their light has been carefully directed onto the dozens of paintings that line the walls, as well as a few small sculptures. In the back of the room are a few stands holding dusty suits of armor and weapons, which now serve as little more than coat pegs and hay racks. And you see the young woman turns away and hurries towards you, wide-eyed, with an odd dress of patchwork fabric rustling about, and you see that there are dozens of bangles around her wrists that jingle as she approaches. She opens the door wide and says, "Welcome, art lovers, to the rise of Mole Master's greatest talent. How can I be of assistance today?"
There was a suspicious painting earlier at tavern,
Cursed.
and
Suspicious?
some people say it's cursed. Don't worry about it.
Just come in,
who's the artist's
please.
name
Let's
again?
discuss it inside.
Okay.
All right. She
She like strangely inviting for this time of night with a group of strangers.
maybe she likes
I don't
that
care, I
kind of
go.
deal.
I go with.
As you
Alright.
enter, you see the paintings nearest the door feature very realistic portraits and landscapes of the typical Mulman people, and you see a noble.
Did it
and
seem like his paintings?
no.
Like the guy
Stop.
from who had done
Stop.
the other? Sorry.
A noble in finery lighting a prayer candle to Joaquin, a sweating smith forging a sword, and a neighborhood illuminated by the glow spilling from the foundry's doors. As you move further into the gallery, the works are of a closer detail. A hand removing or replacing the glass cover of a brightly burning oil lamp, a fire pit with dozens of feet dancing or running in shadow in the background. And in the back, the paintings are almost completely abstract works of reds, orange, and yellows that seem to capture the very essence of a flame, held in complete stillness. Still, the shapes seem to hold other objects, a face here, a building there, but always wreathed in flame. As you make your way to this back and you see all of this, she kind of stops and she puts her hands together and she looks at you and says, "Magnificent, aren't they?"
Sure.
I can't help
Yes, they're
but
quite lovely.
notice the motif of fire. What inspires all this?
Whatever
Needs
do you
more
mean?
nudity, honestly.
Whatever do you mean? These are simply glorious works of art.
Are they all from different painters?
Oh, no. Most of these here in this section and that section, pointing to the other part where all the paintings were of fire, they were all by a local artist, one of the noble houses, actually.
The Gus, the I can't remember his first name.
Andrik.
Andric?
Andric, oh, you already know of him. And she's like fanning herself with her hand. He's like, such a visionary. Yes, we are truly blessed to have his talent.
When was
But
the last time you saw him?
I had an opportunity to meet him several days ago when his patron, Doral Sire, brought him in and introduced us.
Where did you see him at?
He was here.
His patron is he a local as well?
Doral is an incredible patron of the arts. He's a bit of a wanderer. I have to admit, though, I had never heard of the man until he suddenly chose to fund Andric, and with a seamless, unending supply of gold for paints, brushes, and supplies. But he managed to take Andric's talent and truly push it to something great. He is a visionary.
What did Doral look like?
She seems to furrow her brow together, and she's like, he's a man about this tallish, and her hand is like wavering. You know, from at first she's gesturing like 5 foot, then she goes up to 6, then like down to 5.5, and then she's like, he's got hair on his head, and he has a chin with.
Very descriptive.
Without?
Thanks.
I don't.
That's fine. That's
You
fine.
see, she's quite frustrated. She can't quite seem to recall.
And you don't know where we can find him all.
Find who? Who is this?
Doral.
Doral.
I'm unsure. He has not stepped into the gallery since he visited with Andric. I do think he might be some sort of smithy or something, because I did hear him mention to Andric that the artist might find inspiration staring into the furnace at his shop.
It's very peculiar. That didn't strike you on top of all the fire in these paintings?
Whatever do you mean?
Just a pattern.
Of course. You know, it's only the small-minded look at these exquisite works and see nothing but fire. You have to look into the heart, the essence, and she starts to almost like she's like curling, you know, and she's like, the essence of the painting, and see what lies beyond. These are so much more.
I'll stand up full upright. Pardon me for being small-minded.
Can I grab Nap and walk out of earshot of the rest of the group and the lady?
Mm-hmm.
You talked about the painting being cursed. What's the over-under on this lady also being cursed?
I don't know anything about cursed.
Look
The
at these
fire was
paintings.
Do the paintings here have the same, like, does the fire look the same as the one in the other painting? Like, is it more vibrant and stuff?
Yes, they look very identical.
These paintings could be cursed too. I wouldn't stare at them too hard.
If you look at this painting, what do you feel?
I don't want to look at the painting, okay? The last person who looked real hard at the painting lit someone else on fire. I'm gonna not do that. And I avert my gaze from the paintings. Just casually look at the ceiling.
I'll walk back to the group.
Okay.
Yeah, I do the same. I'm not having any of this.
Just looking everywhere but at the works of art.
Yeah, pretty much.
Among these pieces, which do you consider to be the local masterpiece? You must have a favorite here.
Oh, I think all of Andric's work are just amazing. I couldn't possibly choose one above the others.
And again, do you know, you said this inspiration came from staring at a fire or a furnace at a shop. Might you know of a couple of shops that might have a furnace local?
Well, there's the blacksmith and maybe the glass blower?
Our mutual friend Andric mentioned a Azek Throm. Do you know any of this guy?
Give me a second. I have to find. Ooh, no. have to find it in my notes because I was moving on to the next session because I don't remember. Actually, is he the large Thayan man with the balding pate?
Yes, that'd be him.
I saw him speaking with Dorel. It's something about the Thayan man wanted to have him paint a mural somewhere in the Zent neighborhoods. Apparently, he is quite a connoisseur for art, and he thought that Andric's paintings were remarkable.
Where again did he want this mural painted?
In the Zentarum neighborhood?
Looks like that's where we're headed next.
The Zentarium neighborhood?
Yes, of course. They control the market district down there.
Okay.
Just be aware that the area I visited down there was very slummy and housed secrets.
Are any of these paintings for sale?
She looks at them and looks at you and says, "Oh, of course they are for sale. This is a gallery. It is what we do.
Sometimes people just put them out for viewing.
Would you like to purchase one of them?"
How much do they cost?
Oh, it depends on which one you would like, sir.
The cheapest one.
The cheapest one? Well, and she takes you away from the back to the very front of the gallery. She's like, "This here is an exquisite portrait of one of our noble families here in Mulmaster. It will be yours to own for the very low price of 1,300.
All right. Thanks for your time. It was a pleasant time talking to you. And I just start walking away out the door.
Okay.
I don't have any money.
I have very little money.
All right. Well, shall we call it a night for now and then continue on tomorrow, or do you want to continue investigating tonight? It's getting quite late. Become more and more difficult to try and speak to
You can't take
people.
a rest. They're gonna execute that poor woman.
Exactly.
Well, someone in the Zentarum district will still be up. They're a shifty bunch.
What's our shifty
at that.
bunch?
All right. Well, let's go then.
We've made our way out
Let's go.
of the lady's shop, right? The gallery and everything. Like, she's no longer
Correct.
in ear distance.
Yep.
Then I'll mention what I was talking to Snap earlier about the curses. I know it wasn't well received earlier mentioning curses, but I mentioned that there was something off about the gallery lady and how she was so fond of the pictures.
I don't think she knows what's going on here. I think she's just
She-
an enthusiast.
She also seemed to not be able to remember Doral very well. Does that seem suspicious to anyone else?
Yes, actually, it seems very suspicious.
Yeah.
She didn't seem to entirely have her wits about her.
Maybe she was also cursed by the paintings. She was
I think she
around
was
so
just
many
getting
of them.
wet over
I
the
mean-
painter, so...
We could burn down the gallery.
I don't think that's the answer. It seems more likely that if anything's going on, it's not necessarily that the paintings are cursed, but that somebody is placing an enchantment on the people.
With the paintings, of course.
Fire
That's a
seems
good
to be a
idea.
common theme. If we burn down the gallery, there's no more paintings. It fixes issues.
It doesn't really fix anything. If the
No, it
paintings
only
aren't the
treats the
problem.
symptom, not the source.
To the Zen area.
To the Zent area. The Zent Market is an abandoned warehouse in the middle of the Zentarum ghettos that has been converted into a series of stalls. The otherwise shunned and neglected Zents conduct business and operate small workshops here. Outsiders stand out, but their business, and more importantly their coins, are usually not refused. The wood of the massive warehouse has gone gray with age. Many of the roof shingles have peeled away, and its walls lean ominously inward. Within, you hear hucksters haggling in nearly a dozen languages over goods of dubious quality and origin in a number of ramshackle stalls. The caged fowl of a vendor cluck as they are roughly handled. A journeyman blacksmith grinds an edge onto a rust-marked blade. At the far end of the marketplace, one gray wall of the building interior has been painted, with a mural that reaches to the sagging rafters. At a distance, the small details are not visible, but huge whirls of vividly painted flame bring color to the dingy interior of the market.
Say we go approach and take a closer look.
Okay.
Sure, why not?
Approaching the mural, there are small shrines of candles and blackened kindling set out on tables by the merchants whose stalls sit beneath the massive painting. When not helping buyers, they stare up at the rendering of a city in flames with a slack-jawed expression of wonder. Their eyes weave back and forth over the incredibly minute details. The city, that bears striking similarities to Mulmaster, burns with a small, detailed fire consuming each building. People spill out into the streets wrapped in flames, but the exacting details of their faces reveal a look of ecstasy. Even the waves washing against the piers are on fire.
It looks like Andric's work. Like the mural.
Yes, it does.
I'm not looking at the mural. As soon as I get like a quick glance, I'm out. Not looking at it.
A gruff voice comes from a stall next to you. That's a smart move, it is. Don't look at the damned thing. It'll steal your mind.
Do you know of the curse?
Just look at them. All of the
I don't wanna
merchants...
look at it.
All of the merchants that have their stalls next to that damned painting can't help but look at it. It's like it steals their soul.
How are you not soul stolen?
Well, I was accursed with color blindness from a very young age, so artsy things and the like don't much appeal to me. But I've never cared much for it, and it just seemed to appear overnight, and everyone's just been all enthralled with it. I've seen the effect that it has. Aye. And as you turn and look at this man, you see that he is absolutely filthy. An old man with gray hair that is practically blackened with dirt. His fingernails are coated with dirt. He's missing a leg, and he's got all of 3 teeth in his mouth. He looks positively insane.
Look, he's speaking the truth. I don't mind. I understand this fella. Could you describe the painter? Did you catch their name?
I seen him. He was a paint-spattered man, and he was speaking with a Thayan, who was pointing at the wall prior to the mural's appearance. Later, that same day, a paint-spattered man was back with a wealthy-looking guy who was overheard saying that he would pay completely to see him realize his vision. His vision, he called it. Look at it. It's just everybody on fire. What kind of shit is that?
The first guy, bald, tall.
He was bald. But when I heard their conversation, that abomination was not what he was talking about.
What was he talking about?
I think he wanted to hire the man to make a soaring cityscape of Mulmaster, glorious rainbows, blue skies above, and then he painted that piece of shite.
And the rich fella?
Yes, what about him?
Could you describe him?
Yeah, he was,
Let me guess, yay tall, and I'd start going between 5 and 6 feet.
How did you know?
Did he have a chin?
He had a nose on his face. I know that
Did he
much.
have hair?
And he had eyes, 2 of them.
All right.
Were they located where they're supposed to be located?
I do believe so, yes.
Can I examine him to see if he's under the effect of some spell I can detect?
Yeah, sure. Do an insight check.
What about the rest of them? I'd like to investigate the rest of them, see if there's something up with them.
Oh, the
Mender,
other-
the only thing
the
he's
other one.
under the influence of is alcohol.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
What about the other vendors? The nearest one. I don't want to get too close to the mural.
Insight, or actually, that'd be perception. I don't know.
Oh,
You pick.
it's the same. It's the
No,
same
14.
fighter.
Yes, they are clearly enthralled under some type of spell. It's the same symptoms you've seen with the woman at the art gallery, the same symptoms you've seen in Kata before she went batshit insane.
These people are cursed, I tell you.
Could I make a perception check?
On what?
I tell them that people are messed up. They're cursed, I tell you. Cursed.
Lower your voice.
Good call. Good call.
Anyone can be cursed.
Alright, so now what?
Gonna go to the city guy. You don't happen to notice where the rich man went?
Where he went?
Yeah, I mean, you might not know what he looks like, but you might have known where he went.
I could tell you if, maybe... You know, what? This whole time you've been standing here, good paying customers have walked past my stall, nowhere to stand and purchase my wares. I
What's
think...
he selling?
What is he selling?
Yeah.
Garbage. Just like little pieces of baubles that he's picked from the trash, and they're laying out on a dirty blanket in front of him. It's like, maybe if you purchase something, I'll remember where this man has went. Uh-huh.
How much for the lot?
The lot?
The lot. All of it.
You want to buy it
On
all?
your table. Well, these are...
You can have everything here, including this, and he pulls off his prosthetic leg. 5 silver pieces.
6 silver. I can't take any less.
You, sir, a gentleman and a scholar. I've never met such a generous person as you. Here you go. And he starts just shoveling all this trash towards you.
Do we have a sack that I can put this stuff in?
You don't want to take this stuff.
I want to put the stuff in a sack.
All right, put it all in your backpack.
I don't know that. Maybe I don't.
Including the prosthetic leg.
Including his
The
prosthetic
leg I'm taking. Okay, you're not talking me out of that one. The rest, we'll donate to charity. You have more questions?
So where were you saying that he went?
Oh, yes. When he was here, and the man was telling him what to paint, he said to come to my shop, and then he detailed a glass blowing establishment. I think that's where you'll find your man.
That's where we're going.
I agree.
Very helpful.
I
thank
agree.
you.
Okay. So you guys are gonna head to the glass blowing shop. All right. As you guys approach the glassblower's shop, okay, you see a very strange sight. Okay, you walk up, and around the bend, you can see that there is some kind of large ceremony taking place, and there are at least 50 attendees, and as you look at this strange procession, a shockingly frigid wind yanks cold spray from the crashing waves, leaving those worshippers not wrapped in heavy cloaks shivering despite their fervor. Over 4 dozen men and women ignite torches, and they cast them in a precarious tower of driftwood the moment the sun disappears beneath the horizon. Right? It's dusk. When the moment arrives, a volley of burning wood sails through the air, and the driftwood immediately blazes and crackles above the din of the sea. The flames first climb to its top, 40 feet in the air, then rise even higher in a coiling red tornado that lashes the sky. the worshippers begin to chant and frantically whip their bodies in circles as they parade around the tower of blazing wood that already sways in the wind.
Would you believe this isn't the weirdest thing I've seen this week?
No.
This is or isn't?
This is not.
Well, we just the
Yes,
mural
then.
of cursed. So
What do you guys like to do?
should we intervene?
I think that's probably a bad call.
I would like to agree. There is a there you are grossly outnumbered.
Maybe we don't intervene. I'm not here to, break beaks or whatever.
So what
Seems
would
like
you
a
guys
cult
like to do?
to me.
Are all these people between us and the glass blower shop?
They are immediately outside the shop.
Do we recognize any faces? Like potentially people who were from the market or
Do a perception check.
tavern?
Oh, that is excellent, Dexus. Okay. So, there's no one here that you recognize, okay? But one of the people that are wearing these large ceremonial gowns, you see that they're wearing a brooch, right? And this brooch, it looks very familiar. And you realize that this has been in several of the paintings from Andric. And seeing as how nobody can come up with a physical description, you piece two and two together and assume that this is Doral.
We'll let the group know.
Should we try to talk to him, or do you think that's
I think we've caught them at an awkward time. We might have to wait for the right moment.
from the depictions in the mural? I feel as if we should probably do something to prevent more fire.
Or we leave town before the fires start.
Looking at this big tower of flame, what's the likelihood that the flames could spread to nearby buildings and such?
Extremely likely. As
They're gonna burn.
I was waiting until you guys were done talking, but as this towering inferno burns, the flames are already starting to consume the glassblower shop.
Do we see any guards or anyone else reacting besides the large group of seemingly cultists?
Nope, there are no guards. Just this large group of seemingly cultists.
Look, we've got 150 gold. I'm sure that can get us far. Far from these fires.
As
and
you guys
cursed
are
beings.
standing here, you can see that several of the cultists now are grabbing large melon-sized objects and throwing them into the inferno.
Can we make out what those melon-sized objects are? Or are they just melons?
You can try. You can try. This, however, will require a nature check. Holy crap. Alright. Bray, Snap, Linfian. You guys recognize that those are fire snake eggs. And you know that fire snake eggs will only hatch under an intense heat.
Doesn't seem good.
Seems
Cultists.
like it's about to turn very, very south.
We should go south. I agree.
I agree.
Are fire snakes dangerous?
Extremely dangerous, hostile to anybody and everybody in their immediate vicinity. They catch things on flame just by traveling next to them. They would wreak an untold amount of havoc upon the city of Mulemaster.
Okay, and how many of these eggs do there seem to be? Like, a lot?
I don't know. Trying to find.
Texas is gonna shoot at the eggs.
Who's the? You're gonna what now?
Try to shoot at those eggs that they're tossing into the fire after hearing that.
There are two eggs. Okay. So go ahead and make a ranged attack roll at disadvantage because of the distance you guys are standing. Ooh, it's a longbow. 12. Where the hell? Okay. Your arrow just kind of goes into the fire pit and is consumed. But the cultists see you, and they are not happy. Not happy at all about what is happening. So, right now, we are going to move to this map. And some of you are not going to be able to see. That's because you're stinking humans. Let me grab your tokens. That'll be the easiest way to do it. Okay, so you should be able to see your token.
Yep.
If you can't see, let me know. Because, well, it is, there's a huge fire. Let me just put that fire down, because that will emit a lot of light, don't you think? I'm going to put... I just put it on the map. There it is. Advance, emits fire, 100 feet in each direction. All players can see the light. Giant fire. Right? Right. And now I need to see for an average size party. Doro. 3, 2. Yep. Okay. So what we have now gonna be him. 2, 3. And all right. Give me 1 sec. Put these guys up. Fuck me. The token layer. And then everybody's going to roll initiative. Oh, that's not our marching order. It's going to look a lot more like this. Big beefies in the front. There. That seems good. You're not upside down. Alright.
What do you know about it?
So to roll initiative, looks like most have already done it. You open up your character sheet. You can either click on your name and do it that way, or you can click your token and hit the initiative button that pops up in the top left-hand corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Carbuncle doesn't get a separate turn from you.
Familiars roll their own initiative.
Do they?
Yep.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Who hasn't rolled?
I rolled mine, but it said I had no token selected. Did it still pop up though?
No. It's
Okay,
not
I
on the
can
tracker.
do it again. Did that one
Yes,
pop
it
up?
did. Yes, it did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still missing one. And I think it is you. Nope, more die is here. There's Bray. It is you. Torloff. So Torloff, click on your token. And then there's a button in the top left-hand corner. It'll say initiative roll. There you go.
There we go.
And then that. And that. And then Give me 1 second. Toggle. Whisper toggle. Okay. So, our combat round, Torloff, Bray, Mordecai, or blah 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 blah. You guys can see the tracker. Let's go ahead and get it started. So Torloff, you're going to have the first action in combat. Okay?
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I would like to take my great axe out and attack.
Okay. So on your turn, you can move up to your speed, which is 30, and each of these squares is 5 feet. And then you can attack if there's a unit of range. If there isn't, you can move up to your speed, and then you can either dash to move more and get closer, dodge to try and avoid getting hit, or you can ready in action, which is a little bit more complex. But you're a little bit too far. You're not going to be able to attack anybody.
Yeah. So I would like to move to my movement speed and dodge.
So move your token. Alright, Bray, what would you like to do?
The range of a javelin is like in between 30 and 120, right? I could
It'll
throw it.
It'll be on the actual javelin. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
throw
it's
it up to
30
30 feet. Okay, and that's the normal range. You can throw it up to 120, but then you have disadvantage. Anything above 30 feet, you have disadvantage.
So I have to get within 30 to throw it.
If you don't want disadvantage, yes.
Okay.
Okay, and then javelin toss at whom?
Oh shit! I wasn't pressing my push to talk at all. Throw a javelin at the upper of the two cultists that are stacked on top of each other. Yes, that one.
Okay.
Sorry, I forgot to push talk.
Okay.
So I think that's a 13 to hit, right?
Yep. And 13 is a hit for 6 damage.
6 piercing, yeah.
So whenever that you see that red dot show up, that means that a unit is bloodied. They're obviously wounded. They're below half health. Alright, Mordai, your turn.
Alright, I'm going to run up. Over to here. And then I will throw a dart at this one here.
That is a miss.
Yep. That's it.
Mender?
I'm going to move here, and I'm going to dodge.
Okay. Lynn.
Okay, the one at the top, I'm going to attack using Acid Splash. So actually, it's going to be the two of them together.
Alright, make the roll.
So they have to make a saving throw to avoid taking 1 point of damage.
Alright, top and bottom both fail. That is a... the acid splash. Wait a minute, isn't acid split? Oh, 60 feet? Okay, I was thinking the other one. Anyway, finished?
Yes.
Alright, the first of the cultists is going to take their turn. They're going to run up here. And as this cultist approaches, this is the one that is wearing the brooch, by the way. This is Doral. As he approaches you, you see him take a scimitar out of its sheath, and he raises it up above him, and he says, "Ignix, give me your blessing!" And as he does, his sword catches on fire. And then he takes that sword, and he is going to try and slash at Torloff. And so 6 is a miss. Okay. Next, Dexus.
She's gonna move over here and take a shot at the one that she saw with the brooch.
Sweet.
All right. Hit for 13 and yep. The arrow catches him squarely in the chest and he falls to the ground. As he falls, okay, he clutches at the arrow and he lays on the ground and he starts gagging from all the blood filling up in his lungs. And he reaches up to the sky, and the clouds above Mulmaster are traced with flickering orange flames. And he says, "Andric's masterpiece has been completed! Mulmaster shall burn!" And he passes out.
That's my turn.
Snap!
Yeah, that was spooky a little bit. I'm gonna move up here a little. And I'm going to shoot the one that's weakened already with a Ray of Frost and yell out, "Y'all need to chill!"
Oh no.
That's not going to hit.
That is a miss.
Yeah, feels bad, man. That's my turn.
Alright, the cultists will take their turn. They are going to rush towards you. Dora will be avenged! And this one is going to run right here. As this one is moving, it actually passes past you, Torloff. You'll get to make an opportunity attack if you'd like. Which would just be a melee attack with whatever weapon you're holding.
I would like to make an opportunity attack.
Right, roll it.
How?
Just click it on your sheet.
Click on the name of the weapon you want to hit
Yep.
with, the melee weapon.
Yep.
I believe you said greatsword earlier?
There it is, 20, and it hits for 4 damage. Okay, so now the cultists have moved. They're going to attack. First on Mender, then on Torloff, and then on Mordai. Mordai, 16?
That hits.
Alright. 5 slashing. And then you can move your familiar.
Yep, Carbuckle's just going to move to there. And then it's done.
Alright. Torloff.
I am going to make a grid axe attack.
Alright. 5 damage. Anything else?
That's it.
Alright, Bray. Push to talk, buddy.
You right? Sorry again. I'm gonna run up to the one that is currently with Mordai, and I'm gonna face step, which because I'm winter means a person within 5 feet has to make a saving throw. I believe it's Wisdom. Give me a second.
You could just link it. Little speech bubble on the. There you go. All right, so
yeah,
winter.
The winter,
5
yeah.
feet.
So I'm gonna be within 5 feet of that one, so he'll have to make, yeah.
Pass.
And I believe, yeah, it's a pass. And then I'm gonna, it's within 30 feet. So I was gonna go up to this one and then just make a regular attack. 13 to hit.
13 is a hit, and guy goes down.
Cool.
All right, Mordai.
All right, I'm going to pull out my short sword and attack the guy in front of me.
Another dead cultist. Anything else?
All right, and then move forward and use my bonus action for an unarmed strike.
Okay. Ooh, God. Look at them rolls. And then you punch this cultist to death. And then, what would you like to do now? That's it for you, right?
Yep, that's it.
All right, Mender?
There's the eggs are still hatching.
The eggs are still in the flames. And you can see that they're kind of... when the eggs are in the flames, they're glowing like red hot metal would in a forge. And you can almost kind of see something is pecking at the shell of the egg.
Oh, my bad.
You're right.
Okay, I think I'm going to move forward.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon and have it take a swing at the egg.
Okay. What form does your spiritual weapon take?
A giant warhammer made of rough cut stone and marble.
Okay. War hammer. There it is. It's not very giant. So you're going to have it fly up and take a swing at one of the eggs. So make an attack with yours. So cast, there it is, 16 for 3. That is a hit. And you see it shatters one of the eggs. However, upon shattering the egg, you see the fire snake is just kind of freed from the egg. And it is now sitting in the fire in front of you. And it kind of stretches out and
I'll dodge for my action.
Okay. Alright, next. Lynn?
Okay, so I'm going to move up a little. I'll move up to there. I should still be within like 60 feet. So I'm going to use... Oh, where's my spells gone? Sorry, I just want to check the damage type. Cool, yeah, I'm going to use Sacred Flame on the other egg.
Okay. On the other egg?
Yeah, you said there were 2 of them?
Okay.
In fact, yeah.
Alright, so this is an egg. It's an immobile thing. It can't dodge out of the way, right? So your attack is just going to hit it.
Yep.
And breaking the egg, once again, you see another fire snake bursts into existence. Okay?
Okay. That's the end of my
cultists
turn.
are dead. Let's get them out of the tracker. Alright, so now it's the fire snake's turn, right? And at this point, they would get to come and maul your face. However, seeing as how they did not hatch, They were forced into existence prematurely. They are incapacitated this round. Okay. It didn't do it. Incapacitated. There we go. So that is going to be it. So there's this turn. That's where they are. Dexus, it is your turn.
The top one.
17 is a hit.
That's my turn.
All right. Next, Snap.
I'd like to get a tad bit closer, just a little bit, and cast Healing Word on Mr. here who took damage.
More die.
That's my bonus. So you can heal for 4. Okay, am I close enough to hit these guys? Whoops. I'd like to get just a little bit closer. Sorry. Math is hard. And I'd like to shoot a Ray of Frost at the top one.
14 is a hit. And when the cold ray hits the fire snake, you see it screech in pain and terror. It obviously does not like what you just did. Roll your damage, please.
Yeah. 1 sec.
Click where it says Ray of Frost in the chat.
That's what I did to get that.
No, you didn't. Because if you clicked Ray of Frost, it would have rolled it like that. It's okay. I'll take your 2. Do you want your sheet to auto-roll damage?
Doesn't it normally?
It didn't.
Weird.
Well, it's because you see this right here, auto damage roll.
Yep.
You had it set to don't roll damage.
I didn't touch any of those settings.
Because you're dead. All right, Cult, they are dead. Let's get them out of the tracker too. What's your familiar doing? Wasting time.
Carwilgle's just going to move up a little closer. That's all.
Torloff.
I am going to move to my movement speed and dodge.
Okay. So you're going to get right up there next to the fire, correct?
Correct.
All right. Go ahead and move your token. And ending your turn next to such an immense flame. All right. You're going to have to make a constitution save to endure that immense heat. It's not. You said 30. Bam. All right. So you passed. You are going to take some damage, but it's not going to be too severe. It is. Let me check that again. That is a lot of damage. Yeah. Okay. Alright, you're going to take 2 fire. It's not as bad as I thought. After that, Bray, your turn again.
I'm gonna move 5 feet to the right and then throw a javelin at the upper one. That's a 6.
Yeah, that's a super miss.
And that'll be my turn, I believe.
Okay. Mordai?
Alright, I'm going to move up to here and try and step this one with a short sword.
Okay. 21 is a hit. However, upon striking the fire snake with the melee attack, you puncture its skin and a small gout of flame comes bursting out from the creature. You are going to take 2 fire damage. Okay?
Would that be reduced? But for
You're a
my
tiefling.
resistance.
Yeah, you're actually, yes. So you will take 1 fire damage, and then at the end of your turn, you're gonna repeat that again because you're standing next to the intense flame, and you're gonna take no fire damage. What are my rolls? 2, 2, 1? Kidding me?
Those are good rolls.
Yeah, okay.
Those are
That's what I was
very
rolling
good
last
rolls.
week. So
All right,
feel
Mender.
bad.
Yeah, last week I was all crits, so
I was all 5s. I'm going to. So this is going to be weird. So I'm going to start with attacking with a spiritual weapon. It's going to show the cast, unfortunately. I'll have to figure that out later.
no, there is no great way to do it. The only way to do it is maybe here. Let's do it like this, right? No. Good. We're gonna add another attack here. You all weapon. I can spell. Spiritual weapon. What is it? Wisdom mod? Because it uses here. Yeah. And the damage die is 1d8 plus wisdom. 8 plus wisdom. Spiritual weapon. And then how do we want to do here? Here we go. We'll just put a little diamond. There we go. So the first one, cast it. The second one is for when you've already cast it and you're just making the weapon attack. You get it?
Perfect.
Alright, there we go. That way it's not always like, you took a spell slot away. Anyway, 11 is a miss.
And I'm going to hold my action, so if something comes in melee range of me, I'm going to swipe it out with my mace.
Coolio. And then it is Lynn's turn.
Okay, aiming for the top one, I'm going to attack it using Sacred Flame.
Alright, DC 13. Okay, oh, it's whispering me. Don't whisper me. I rolled an 18. I passed.
Okay. That's the end of my turn. I'll move a little closer.
Okay, so fire snakes no longer incapacitated. This one here is going to slither right up there. This one's gonna go right there, right? Because you guys are already so tasty and tantalizing.
What are their movements?
Because
the top one's minus
not
10.
to where.
Okay.
Well, it moved 25. Yep, it is minus 10, so it has to stop there. All right, thank you. All right, so they're gonna stop there and there.
Held action range, right?
Yep.
16 hit.
16 does hit.
Whack.
All right, now it's their turn. It is going to attack Mender twice. First with the bite, then try to hit you with the tail. God, my rolls today. What is this? Second one, we're going to attack Mordai. And then Torloff. 14. 14 is a hit. Morloff, take a whopping 3 damage.
I think this is looking rough. I think we're all. It's going to be a TPK, guys.
Morloff, to subtract your damage, just click on your token. The green circle is your health. So you click that and you do -3 and hit enter. But that's that for me.
The one closest to me.
Where are you? Oh, that was a longbow attack. Okay. 15 will hit.
And then I move back after that.
Okay. Snap.
Can I hit? Let's see. Hit them both. I'm not going to shoot the top one because he's weakened already with another Ray of Frost. Come
Miss.
on, bruh.
Move your pixie.
Skip.
Okay. Torloff.
I am going to attack with my great axe.
Okie doke. That is a hit for 6. Once again, as before, when you strike the creature with the melee attack, its skin bursts open and a god of flame comes out in your direction. You are going to take 6 fire damage. I'm so sorry. Alright, after that, end your turn, Torloff.
Yep.
Alright. Bray.
I'm gonna move 5 feet towards it and melee attack it. Wow.
That's a miss.
Yes, sir, that is. And that's my turn.
All right. More die.
All right, stabbing with the short sword,
A hit.
and bonus action to unarmed strike it.
Another hit. And take 2 damage.
And that's it.
Okay. Also, still standing next to the fire, take another 1 damage. Womp womp. Next. Mender. 15 is a hit for 4, and then Mender, you're gonna take 4 fire damage, and then the spiritual
But
weapon.
it's bludgeoning. Does it still squirt me?
You're gonna take 4 fire damage.
Bummer.
And then the spiritual weapon is a miss.
And that's my turn.
All right, Lynn.
All right, I'm going to use a healing word on Torloff. And then I'm going to cast Sacred Flame on the snake at the top.
All right, so Torloff, same as before. Click the green circle after you click on your token, and just do +4 this time. It's real easy. Dex save from my snake. Passed. Oh, there's my frickin' 20. Done?
Yep. Yeah, that's my turn.
Snake's turn. We're gonna do snake things. Try to bite Bray. It's a hit
That hits, yes.
for a total of 9. Then we'll try to hit Mender with the tail. Dude, I swear I've never been able to hit this giant. Then the other
you just
one,
hit me with fire
we're gonna
damage.
attack Torloff. 14 is your AC. That is a hit, total of 7. And then a tail swipe at Mordai. Miss. And Dexus, it is your turn.
One closest to me.
Okay, that
All right,
is
move
a
up.
hit. Snap.
And move back.
Sure.
Well, I'm going to start with a bonus action healing word on Torloff. Just so that hopefully he doesn't die. Heal another 4. And I'm going to Ray of Frost at the northern bro. Once again. Nope.
Womp womp. Burton? Okay. Torloff.
I am going to attack with my hand axe.
Don't do that.
Did Torloff heal the 4? Did I?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Your hand axe is much weaker than your other axe.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Tell me what you were thinking. But generally, you never just want to attack someone in melee with your hand axe.
Alright. I'll just attack with my great axe then.
It's unfortunately a miss. Bray?
I am going to heal myself for 5 with my action, lay on hands. And I believe that's all I could really do. I don't know how to... Wait, do I click it?
No, you just add your health. And then
Okay.
yeah. Mordai?
Alright, stab again.
Miss?
Nope. And bonus action to unarmed strike.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Forgot. That's a hit. And then the D6. Somewhere in here. You take no damage. Alright, Mender. A hit with the mace, and the first of those fire snakes dies. Spiritual weapon misses.
Yeah, I'm not having a lot of luck with it tonight. That's okay.
All right, Lynn. Dex save for Sacred Flame. It's a fail. So 8 radiant damage. Finished after that.
I'm just going to move a little closer. But yeah, that's the end of my turn.
Fire Snake, it's only this one here remaining. And is going to try to bite Mordai. Impossible. Tail Swipe Torloff. Okay. I give up. Dexus? Miss.
It's my turn.
Snap?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot it with another ray of frost. Oh, come on.
No, I don't think you are. Carbuncle. And Torloff.
I am going to attack with my great axe.
That is a hit. And that will kill the last of the fire snakes. Alright. Looking up at the scene around you, right? Most of the worshippers, when the fight started, they just scatter, right? They just run for the hills. But as you look up in the sky at those how the sky is turned amber and almost appears to be on fire, you can see ley lines of energy amidst the clouds that kind of go all in the same direction.
What direction are they heading in?
No, north. Doesn't matter. Do you want to head that way, or is there anything you want to do right now?
I'd like to see if I can grab the javelin, or like a javelin or two that I threw, but besides that, one of them's in the fire. I can't get that one, but the one that I threw at one of the cultists.
All right, yes, just add it back to your sheet.
Okay, cool.
Grab the brooch from the that guy that he was wearing.
Okay. Checking, going to grab the brooch. Okay. Yep, you can take it. And just add it to your sheet.
Cool. And anything else of interest that he might have on him? Might be pertinent to whatever's going on.
He wears a large amount of gaudy glass jewelry. Likely all items that he made himself, being that he's a glassmaker. Guys,
okay.
10:20. We gotta come on.
All right. Let's, for the sake of time, anyone who's wounded gather around me, and I'll cast prayer of healing, and then we'll head off towards the north.
All right, gather on who?
On Mender.
Okay.
Alright, so prayer of healing, that's 10 minutes. That guy's definitely gone. And
Yeah, that's
everybody's
fine.
going to heal for 14.
Is there anybody else around that isn't a cultist?
Nope, everybody booked it. It's just you guys.
Maybe we shouldn't stay around. Fire.
That's like a pretty good roll.
Okay. So, where are we going?
Following those ley lines you mentioned, I
Thank you.
believe. That's what...
Ahead of you, you hear cries of terror and the crashing sounds of splintering wood and grinding stone. People rush past you to flee the hellish glow of whatever burns so bright behind them. Rounding the corner of a tall building, you see a handful of figures dashing through the streets. The figures look like they are man-shaped, but appear to be made of red-hot glass painted in vibrant colors. As they dance down the street, they leave globs of molten glass spitting and smoking on the street. Running alongside the creatures, you see the mad painter Andric continues to paint them as they move. He places his brush thoughtfully in his mouth before touching it to his palate and then returning to his art, completely heedless of everything going on around him. So we have everybody go ahead and roll initiative while I set up. And that, even though it is a girl's token, is totally Andric. Okay. And has everybody rolled initiative? Let me check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excellent.
Oh, do I recognize that thing?
Yes, they look very similar to the thing you encountered before. However, if you're going to share any information, it has to be during your turn in combat.
That's okay.
Alright, so, well, Mender.
Can I see anything? It's all dark where I am. I mean, I can cast light if I need to, but I
yes,
assume there's fire everywhere.
The giant fire, yeah. Actually, these magmins emit light. I don't know why. So there you go. Now you should be able to see quite well.
Perfect. Careful with these, men. Their death throws make them explode. Anywhere around them is covered in fire.
Okay. So, after shouting the warning, what are you going to do?
Well, I'm going to do what I do. I'm moving into melee range. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to move right there. I'm going to cast Shield of Faith as a bonus action.
Alright. And then? No, and then?
And I'm just trying to make sure it gets... Yeah, there we go. And I'm going to hit it. Ooh, that's a decent hit.
Which one are you hitting? Top or middle?
The very top one.
Alright, and that will kill the first of the Magmen. And as you so adequately warned your party, now they are going to get to see. When the Magmen is struck, you see that its form begins to bubble and roil. And after a moment, it explodes in a burst that affects everything within 10 feet of it, right? So you can see it explodes and then little chunks of it, kind of go everywhere around. So you need to make a dex save, please. That is a pass, actually. So you're going to take half damage from... Wow, what are these rolls? Seriously, you take 1 fire damage.
Damn right.
What is that con save?
Because I'm concentrating on Shield of Faith.
Oh, good, thank you.
And that's turn.
There's no save for him. He's immune, Falk. Also, aren't you in this game? Shush you. Bray.
I'm going to throw a javelin at I don't know how to ping, but the lower of the front ones.
To ping, you just long press when you click on it. You just like that.
Okay, that one.
Alright, 20 is a hit for 3. Boop.
And I'll move slightly closer. But that's it.
Okay, next, Lynn.
Okay, attacking the bottom one with Sacred Flame.
Oh, should probably remember that. Dex save. Miss. So yeah, just hit. For, what is it, 2? 2.
Yep, just 2.
And more die.
All right, I'm going to move right between them and stab the one here. I don't know if that hits.
12 is not a hit. No.
All right, and then
Go ahead. I keep
bonus
forgetting
action.
you're a monk.
Yeah, to hit the one above me here. Then that'll be it.
I am going to move here and throw my hand axe at.
Arm strike. Hand axe at. Was it this one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. 12 is a miss. And then.
That's my turn.
Okay. Carbuncle.
And that's it.
Texas.
She moves up and shoots the very bottom one.
Okay, and that will kill that one. Yeah, you need to make a save, Mordai. 11 is a pass. You are going to take 1. You're going to take 1 fire damage because you're resistant. And you see Andric as he's coated in bits of flame and debris. He couldn't be happier. He's just awash with ecstasy as the flames come around him. Speaking of Andric, it is his turn. You see him walk up, and he takes out that brush and starts painting the Magman in front of him. And you can see that as he paints the Magman, it almost like completes its form, right? The damage that had been suffered seems to be mended as he paints over it. All right. Okie dokie. And then it's the Magman's turn. Okay, this one here is going to attack Mender. I'm gonna get you. Nope, no I'm not. I lied. Then the next one is going to attack Mordai. Nope. No again. Snap.
I'm going to shoot at Andric, because he's the one cursing all these paintings. So, Ray of Frost at him. Nope. JK LOL. Do nothing.
Actually, yeah, that's still a miss.
Yeah.
Mender.
I'll sidestep here, and I'm going to swipe at Andric. That is also a miss.
What is wrong with you guys?
I mean, I normally don't roll well, so this is like I'm doing well enough for tonight. So, this is usual. That's my turn.
All right. Bray, your turn.
I'm gonna move up and attack Andric with my longsword.
20. That is a hit for 4, which reduces him to 0. Now, this is just a little piece of information. You don't have to use it. But fun fact, if you are attacking with the melee attack, right? And that attack reduces someone to 0 hit points, you can choose to pull your punch, and instead of killing them, you can knock them unconscious. Not saying that's what you should do here, but I know there's a lot of people new to the game.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yes.
So I should make that aware.
Subdual or whatever damage.
Yeah, you just knock them unconscious.
Yes.
So
yes. Let's
instead
do
of
that.
getting the X, I get the sleepy face. Cool. All right, Lynn.
Sacred Flame on this one.
All right, so Dex save. Fail. He's going to take the 6.
And that's it.
Okay, and Mordai?
All right, stab in the bottom one.
$25 is a hit and a super dead, and yeah, I think it's just you.
Well, Andric, I've because he's unconscious. Does the explosion still damage him, or like death saves, or
None of the explosions have damaged him.
okay?
Remember, he was happy.
Yeah. I was just curious because he's unconscious now. I don't know.
Wait, that was a D8. That was the wrong. I was just rolling. There we go. 2d6. So 3 damage. You pass the dex save, so 1 damage. Take 1 fire damage. You tieflings are ruining my fun. How am I supposed to hurt you with this fire cult if you guys are all resistant? Torloff?
I am going to move up here and attack with my great axe.
Okie dokie. Boom! 1 shot. Your great axe pierces the glass frame of the Magman, and it just immediately bursts. And all of you up there need to make a dex save. Pass, and pass. Everybody passed. 9 damage, so everybody is going to take 4 fire. Mordai, you will take 2. Okay, and at the end of that, so here's what's going to happen now, okay? As the city here is burning along this one isolated road, the City Watch quickly comes up and surrounds you. They point their weapons at you and say, "Put your hands in the air!" And everybody just kind of panics and, "Oh, hey!" After explaining to the City Watch what happened, detailing them about the cult's activities that you witnessed, and then having the subdued Andric with you, they quickly take Andric into custody, and the City Watch escort all of you to Fulton Ghosts. Okay, you guys explain the events that had transpired over the course of the day, which would exonerate Kata, because can't be responsible if the cult had bewitched everybody in the city to be, pyromaniacs. And you managed to free her, thus fulfilling your promise to Udric, right? Because not only did you exonerate her, you found the people responsible and made them pay. So end of the adventure. Here's what the good part: the rewards. You guys. Everybody should thank Bray because he dealt the killing blow and decided to spare Andric. Everybody's going to get extra XP. So huzzah!
Yay!
Yay.
Once word reaches.
Only because he reminded me that I could do that, not because. Yay.
Again, I wasn't trying to dissuade you. I just wanted to make.
Yeah, no, I have known of that rule. I just completely forgot about that. But thank you for the reminder. And yes, cool.
Okay. All right. So experience. Let me calculate it real quick. You did kill those task. Extra experience. Which means you guys will get the maximum for the adventure, which is 600 XP each. If you haven't already, you should have your log, and you want to mark this stuff down. Also, as far as treasure goes, there wasn't any permanent magic items in this encounter, but we did find quite a bit of treasure. So let me see here. /R. We had. Nope. Yes. Oop, it helps if I hit the plus button. Yes and yes. So total party gold is 470, which means it will be split evenly among all of you for a total of 67 gold pieces each. Woot! Look, even Becky's excited. After that... Oh, I lied.
What's the title of the adventure?
It's the Flames of Kythorn. We'll get to that in a second. There
I got you.
is a wondrous item, an uncommon magical item. That brooch that you guys took off of Doral? Oh my god, Dimitri! What is up, buddy? Look at you coming in with all the biddies. How you doing? Sorry, I was looking at the adventure log and I wasn't paying attention. I'm the worst! Anyway, the brooch turns out to be magical. And it is a brooch of shielding. Pop-up appears on everybody's... should appear on everybody's page now. Here's the way distributing magic items works in Adventure League, okay? Whenever a magic item is distributed, first thing, everybody is allowed to have 3 permanent magic items. When a magic item is distributed at the end of the session, you, have to have the least number of magic items in order to be eligible, okay? So right now, I think everybody except for maybe Mender is sitting at 0. So everybody is eligible.
I'm sitting at 0, but I forego my roll.
Okay. After that, if everybody in the party agrees, you can give the item to a particular character or player. And it has to be unanimous. If one person says no, I like a shot at it, then it goes to the last thing, okay? And the last thing is it is randomly given to a person that is eligible by the DM. So if you can't agree, and if everybody wants a shot, we'll take the rolls, and the person who rolls the highest will get it. Okay?
Was it Mender that was the one that found it? Like, was he the one that remembered to go and grab it?
Doesn't matter. It's party loot. That's not how it works.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
Okay.
curious, like, to make the decision.
Who all wants it?
Sorry about that. I was filling out my character log. What are we rolling on?
The pop-up on your screen.
Oh.
Because,
Come on, guys.
like,
Come on.
I was gonna say, like, whoever had remembered to go and grab it was the one that I was gonna vote for. To it
was me, but I don't want it.
Oh, okay. Then, yeah, I guess I'll roll for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want it, then like throw your name in the hat, and if anyone else throws their name in the hat, then roll off, basically.
All right, if you want it, roll a d20.
Oof.
How do I just roll a d20? Where is that?
/R d20, or you use the dice roller tool on the left-hand side of your screen. All right, looks like it goes to Bray. So Bray,
Congrats.
you can add a brooch of shielding to your loot, and if ever you need to reference what it does, pop out is in your journal. All faction members earn 1 renown for participating. And each character receives 10 downtime days for participating as well. Okay. Thanks everybody for coming and hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed yourselves. If you did, make sure you hit that follow button. If you haven't already, make sure you join us in our Discord. That way you can find out, when the next Adventure League session is. If you want to join us, you're more than welcome to. Just like I said, hop in the Discord, talk to us there. We'll get you set up with a character, and we'll get you set up with the next day that we play. Okay? Also, if you like DnD, check out our schedule under the stream. We play all throughout the week. Check that schedule. Make sure you know when we're going to be live next so you don't miss the next session. And hopefully I see you tomorrow. Later, guys.